We're ready now.
Welcome to the October 9th, 2025 Planning Board session. In absence of the secretary, I will call the roll. Chair LaFaro is here. Vice Chair Finity.
Present.
Gloria Burke is absent. George Mutu.
Present.
Tom Neely.
Present.
Kate Fulham.
Present.
Dave Glazer.
Present.
We have a quorum. Please join us for a Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We don't have minutes, so we'll move forward. Are we in order here? Seth? The 97 Fanning Avenue pre-application report.
Yes, I have it right here for you to have a look at. I have the applicants as well, and the architect, Mr. Saladino and Lisa. So,
Okay, so come up.
come on up. Yeah, so what we have before you is the two-lot subdivision pre-application report for Mark Saladino, located at 97 Fanning Avenue in Hampton Bays. This is located in the R20 district. Furthermore, the archaeological sensitive area in New York, groundwater management zone 4. The size of the lot is 56,896 or 1.306 acres. The action that they're requesting is to divide this lot into two parcels. The subdivision line creates a corner lot in the northwest corner of approximately, sorry, skipping.
Wait, Seth, let's just try to get it up there. We'll take the giraffes, Anthony, but I think we need the side plan.
There's no, I don't see the digital file for 97.
Mark Saladino?
It's under Saladino?
Yeah, Saladino. Yeah,
Is there a map in here, do you know?
yeah, there's, next to the aerial would be the map usually, the first things.
There it is.
I can't read it.
I got it.
So, yeah, you can see in the upper corner there, that would be a 20,035 square foot flag lot created during this subdivision.
This is R20?
Yes, it is. So that would be the proposed lot 2, and the proposed lot 1 is currently improved with a residence there in the lower southwest corner, and also a accessory garage with an apartment on the second floor, and that would be the northeast corner.
So those are existing?
Those are existing, each of which the single-family residence has a certificate of occupancy from 1990, and the second-floor accessory apartment has a certificate of compliance for a garage addition and second-floor bathroom from July 2nd, 99, and a certificate of compliance for alteration of the second floor to the apartment in 2009. Furthermore, there's a shed also located on the property. At any rate, all the structures on the lot are permitted and have certificates of compliance. So we are creating a second lot at 20,035 square feet. It should be pointed out the bulk of that lot is 16,913. A standard subdivision map was submitted for the flag lot. I would suggest in the report that a planned residential development plan, a cluster, is not warranted in this case, given the site is located within a developed residential neighborhood and is not adjacent to any existing open space. I have used the report to waive the planned residential cluster plan submission. Moving through the report, it's obviously a minor review that we're undertaking. The conformance with zoning, the subject property is in the R20 zoning district. What we are creating would conform to that lot area. However, we would need to confirm that the zoning compliance with the building division prior to submitting for the final application. And I bring this up because of the proximity of the accessory apartment garage to the proposed lot line that runs
Right.
north-south, again, dividing that upper quadrant and the accessory garage apartment.
The one that's on the right that's existing?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So it is a 16-foot setback to that line, and I had asked that the applicant verify that we would not be creating a lot that would then need a variance for height because of a violation of the pyramid. Lisa has brought in proof that the accessory garage apartment is further away than,
The triangular line there.
so a variance would not be required.
Okay,
So that-
good.
I'm gonna
Thank you for
scratch
checking
that
it.
from my recommendation. With respect to the single-family residence, accessory garage apartment, there is a zoning board of appeals decision from June 18th of 2009. I would just point out that it was required to be 35% of the size of the primary residence, and it was granted a variance for 55.8 for total floor area. So that is a pre-existing variance for that particular structure as well. Furthermore, staying with zoning, 29238E asks that when we're creating flag lots, that they be 1.5 times the size of the zoning district it is located in. I suggested that given the size and configuration of this lot and the surrounding neighborhood and the size of the lots, that this is not warranted in this case. Moving forward with the secret classification, it is a type 2, so no further review. But I should point out it is in the archaeological sensitive area, so we will be requiring a Phase 1A, Phase 1B report prior to final submission. The park requirement, again, I would just summarize by saying that they're creating one lot and there's a fee of $2,500 for a park fee. There was a public hearing held on the 14th of August, closed with 10-day written comment period. There were no public comments received by the planning division or during the public hearing. This is not subject to Long Island Workforce Housing Act. And then we can get to the referrals. The Southampton town engineer did weigh in that he would like to see that this site plan is revised to show the sunroom that has been added to the primary residence, as it is not on there. And furthermore, the concrete monuments and 3-inch drainage would be required. The Conservation Board just recently weighed in. And they had said that based on their field assessment on July 22nd of '25, that the proposed Lot 2, again, the smaller, the 20,000 square foot, contains forested land of significant value, and that they would like to see the remnant woods, these remnant woods protected to the maximum extent practicable, which they further went on to say they would like to see APOD-style restrictions of 60% for that lot. I have spoken with Brendan, who went out and did go over look at the site, and he did point out that he was most impressed by the northern property line and the woods that were following that line. So that's the east-west line there at the top. And I would suggest that the planning board might want to consider a conservation buffer anywhere from,
On the east and the north sides.
Well, I was thinking it would be along that strip there at the top. I should point out, there is an easement running north-south on that property line from the adjacent lot. Teresi Gas Bar has a 20-foot buffer there, conservation.
On that
buffer.
property.
There it is. Yeah.
Joining property.
Adjacent,
Joining.
yes. So I'm saying to make a perpendicular line there, exactly. That's where there's significantly undisturbed forest and a chance for a wildlife corridor, perhaps.
So what does a 20 or 25-foot buffer come to in terms of percentage of the lot?
Well, considering it is a 20,000 square foot, or 16,000 in the bulk, it has 20-foot setbacks to the building envelope, so that would be, if they built up to the envelope, maybe a little bit much, but 10 to 20,
Hold on, I got it.
Well, you have 60
Anthony's
60-foot rear
figuring
yard,
it.
It's gonna
right?
be about an 1,800 square, because it would traverse two lots, Jackie. It would go 20 feet on here and
yes,
20
it would
feet on here.
traverse the two, so it
Couldn't
wouldn't
do a
be
20
burdened.
foot on this side, that's where the flag lot is and where the driveway would go.
Yeah.
But, up here would be okay.
If it matters, I would, from the garage part, I would leave that all woods and say 30 feet off the back of the house, so I can have a lawn back there and stuff like that. And then kind of keep it natural between there and the garage for privacy as well as, you know.
Do you mind pointing that out for the board? Exactly, I'll hold it up. If you would want to run your finger along the lines of what you're
Well, if the house
discussing.
is here, and I could have a lawn here, so this area here, in a sense, on the,
And behind the garage, you said here.
yeah, this is all natural anyway, never
Okay,
touched that.
so sticking
So
with
then this
this-
would stay natural, and I would just have, lawn in the backyard, and I can tie that up.
So the rear.
So you
the
could get a
rear
20
yard-
foot?
Inside yard.
Yeah, the rear yard of the proposed Lot 2. Again, did everyone get see that? Yeah, so you're following? Did
Well,
you
I
see
think-
that, Tom, as well?
20-foot buffer strip on the rear.
On the rear of
Of
property.
both lots.
All the way,
Both
both.
parts.
On both lots.
And he was suggesting also some buffer on the,
Yeah, but it helps,
on the,
because
on the dividing property line.
So 20 here.
Well, I think since it's pre-application, we could just say to them, this was the recommendation, we're interested in getting as close to 60% as possible. And when you submit your application, you take that into consideration, how you'd like to, put those conservation buffers in place, rather than us prescribing it without knowing the property that well.
Okay.
Okay.
Seth, can I hate to interrupt, but I don't know if I missed something here, but going back to the conformance with zoning,
Yes.
where it says, at least 1.5 times the lot area, it shall contain at least 1.5 times the lot area,
That's
but
not a zoning requirement. It's not a zoning requirement, it's a 292 design requirement.
It's a design requirement.
It's not a 330 zoning requirement.
so even though it says shall, we have the
Yeah,
ability
that's a
to waive it?
design.
We have the
But that's a
ability to waive
design,
that?
It's not in the zoning, in other words, it's part of chapter 292. It's not 330, which is a zoning code. It's not a mandate under zoning.
So it says shall, but we're not, we have the
If you
authority
in
to
other
waive
words,
it.
If you have 50,000 square foot lot, the goal is not to do 25 and 25, it's to do 20 on the road, 30 in the back. But we're practical.
Yeah, I just, since it said shall, I wondered if we had the authority to waive that standard.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
what's the
Design
calculation?
standard, not a.
It's a
Not a
design.
It can
requirement.
be
The word
altered.
shall is throwing me off, because that usually means you have to.
If it were a 330 requirement, then they'd have to get a variance.
Okay. Okay.
So you're saying, Dennis, 292-38E is design standards,
Yeah.
not actual?
On a code.
Requirements.
Yeah.
Okay. Learn something new every day.
That was my question too, like, where are we on the calculation of, is it close to 1.5 times the R20?
No.
Or no, it's not, because,
Proposed Lot 2 is 20,000, including the flag strip,
Yeah.
and 20,000, I'm sorry, 35.
okay.
I would say that perhaps you can speak to the layout and why you came to this layout.
I mean, just in general, pushing it as large as I could and still having a backyard. My backyard is basically all a hill. The property is on quite a hill, and at some point at the top here, it finally levels out, and that's gonna be part of the back lot is more flat, and then it slowly tapers. So I don't really have a front lawn at all. It's just a downhill. So the backyard area, we pushed it to 113, which takes quite a bit of my backyard away already. So, and we're trying to push it, we pushed it as far as we physically could, in every direction
Yeah.
to allow it. And the flag itself, I mean, that's, there's not much I could do there. We researched and found, 7 or 8 properties that are much smaller and flag lots, all right within 2 blocks. So as many,
As I say, it's a goal, it's a design goal. I mean, if you tried to comply with that design goal, you'd have a lot line running through a structure. It'd be a violation of zoning. So, zoning takes precedence.
Yes, and I believe the setbacks, the rear yard and side yards are all taken into account when they
Yeah.
designed this, so that there was no violation for either of the two structures.
Okay, so what more?
Well,
Seth, you
fire
finished?
prevention had the standard language. The Department of Health Services, I would just note that they had filed with the Department of Health Services back in 2006, and their response was that they filed and had been approved. We will obviously ask for that to be an updated approval moving forward. Landmarks had no concerns, and so then it gets down to my recommendations. We have satisfied, I'm satisfied, if the board is satisfied about the height limitations and double checking that they're not in violation of pyramid, so I can remove that recommendation.
First one, right?
Yes.
Can I just make, on that point, keep it in and have them verify that with the building department who reviews those plans and verifies that I believe your map is correct, but we don't review them and make that determination, so.
Good,
So
good
just keep it in
point.
there, and that's fine, just to make sure.
Okay.
How do I get them to verify that?
And it doesn't have to be now, I just, at some point, have Marjorie or somebody look and make sure that, that
Do
way,
you need something in writing, or, because I don't know if she'll do that.
we could deal with it at the time of final. It's just friendly
Yeah,
advice for you.
I think it's
that's all.
good advice.
The health department may require you upgrade the existing house to IA.
Yeah, I will have to deal
You're
with,
gonna have to update it.
we'll have to deal with the health
Pretty sure they
department and
will.
see. Obviously, the new one will.
Yes.
have to be.
The new one will,
Absolutely.
but
I'd rather not because it's all new,
they might, no, the existing house.
the existing house.
Yeah.
It is new.
It's,
They might
the IA
require,
It's like
system?
10 years, it has a.
yeah,
but
so
they're
it might
requiring
require,
an IA
overflows
system.
and all that.
it might require it.
I mean, that's their call.
You're saying that an IA system was installed or not?
No,
Saying
no.
my old house, whatever, 100 years old or whatever,
Yeah.
has a new system, it'll
we
last.
can, I mean,
That's
I'll-
not
I'll-
our call, that's the health department.
Yes,
I'll
right.
talk to the health department.
Okay,
That's actually part of my recommendation
Good.
number 2, is to get the exact location of the septic system. It has it's only generally put on there, so I have that. I made that note of a new IA system for Lot 2, and that the subdivision map will note the clearing within the bat window, and a final approval from Suffolk County Department of Health Services.
good. So those are the points. That's great. Can you give me your name for the record?
Lisa Zaloga, Zaloga.
Thank you. Okay.
Very good.
Thank
That's what I
you.
have for you.
Thank you, Seth.
That-
So the next session, you'll have,
Well, may I make the adjustments to this pre-application report? Then for the next session?
please.
Okay.
Okay, number 2, Pietrodura. Anthony, that's you.
Yes, I was out last week, 2 days, and then I got caught up with some other matters out
sorry.
here. So I'm still working on the parking situation, and the applicants, them and their representative couldn't be here today.
Okay.
So one more extension until the 23rd.
To when, Anthony?
Can going back to this previous application, I note according to the action deadline is October 15th. Do we need an extension to the next meeting for that?
Oh, did you not adopt the pre-app?
That was Seth's. No, they're gonna do it next.
I I thought he had discussed it as if we were going,
There's no repercussion.
there's no deadline, right? Yeah, that's what I thought.
At least it was okay
Yeah,
with it, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
All right, didn't just want to full.
So an extension to
Extension till October 23rd.
October 23rd. Okay, motion by Dennis, second by Kate. All in favor? Opposed, abstention, 6 in favor, 1 absent. So Claire, 715 County Road 39.
Is this one off?
Hi.
Is this one off here?
So this one, you approved.
Would you have a different
Site plan.
one than I have?
Yes.
Doing with the one I printed out, did it change?
I have number 2 as Pietro Dora.
That was.
The two, yeah, it's an extension. We just did it as an extension.
We just did, now we're
Oh,
on
I
number
thought we were
3.
extending the.
Extension to October
Sorry,
23rd.
there we go. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. I'm gonna let Sean talk, but I'm gonna just pass this out. You approved this a couple weeks ago, with, a cross-access easement to the west, to the west to RLW, so that's gonna mean, official easements. But also, at the same time, you did a future cross-access to the east.
Just tell us what the application is, so give us a.
Yeah, so this is an application to change there was a second floor activity that was originally gonna be an office, but they now decided just to be storage. That was approved by you. I passed it out, whatever the date was on that. And then with the decision, there was some talk about cross-access.
Right.
So there's an existing cross-access to the west,
The golf course thing, is
no,
that?
to the west, which is RLW.
Yeah, okay.
And then the golf course is surrounding them to the north and the east. And then at the time, you discussed and had a requirement that they do a future cross-access, which is a covenant. That says if in the future, the planning board could say, open this cross-access
Right.
to the golf course. Now, the applicants brought this up to Sean, and Sean wants to explain maybe eliminating that condition.
Good afternoon.
Good
Yes, so-
afternoon.
So I'm here to
Your name
ask.
for the record, please.
Sean Leonard, the architect. So I am here to ask to waive that condition to have the cross-access to the golf course. It was pointed out to me that the golf course itself currently has not only access to County Road 39, but there is roads that lead from the parking lot that goes to Sabonic Road, which is why I included that map. And then there's a road that brings you over to Tuckahoe right now that is frequently used by the golf course members. As you can see here, it goes through this woods here in this section, but there's a road that'll bring you right out to Tuckahoe Lane.
Is it car passable?
Oh yeah, the car,
Yes.
in fact, the members use it. They frequently will use that as a way to leave because they don't want to drive out onto County Road 39. Also, if need be, the property of the golf course also has another piece of land that stretches right behind my client's piece and goes to Tuckahoe. So they could always bring a road right along the northern part of the property, and then that would also go to Tuckahoe if the golf course needed to have access over to Tuckahoe.
Okay, so we're concerned with your parcel.
That's correct.
So we need to assure that you have cross-access. So that's the important
Well,
piece.
which is, we do, because one of the things that you wanted was us to have the cross-access to the parcel to the west of us, which we agree upon, which we agreed that we would create that cross-access. I think it was already established right now by the parcel to the west here. And then we would connect right up to that, and we're okay with that. We're just asking on the eastern side of the property here to waive the requirement of needing that cross-access.
You know if that access is open yet, Sean? Is it?
Yeah, oh, yeah, it's, when they built it, they brought it right up to,
Oh, okay.
right up to the
So
property.
you
We
can
just
start
need-
using it?
We just need to
Here it
connect.
is.
It hasn't been used by us
Okay.
yet, but we just need to connect to it.
Here's the site plan, Dennis, that for that western site, you can see it was in the back here, comes right up here.
Yeah, and it was built that way. It's a little bit elevated, and we just need to adjust our grade just so we can get.
So if you had to get out, if you had to use the golf course, I mean, do they need
We-
some
we-
kind of
They
agreement
would
to do that?
No, we don't want to use the golf course.
No, they have a straight
That's why
shot
we're here.
right out.
We want to just use RWL's, the one that's already been established. That's a
That
straight,
goes out
that's a
to
straight
Tuckahoe
shot,
Lane.
right
Yeah,
out to
yeah.
Tuckahoe Lane.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we would, this property and RWL's property, you know, has access right out to Tuckahoe Lane.
So we'd have your agreement and we have theirs, and so
Correct.
that
And
creates,
the golf, and his point is the
Golf
golf
course
course
could-
already fronts on Tuckahoe Road, so there's no reason to be coming over these two businesses to get
And
to
they can also
Tuckahoe
go
Road.
north, they can also go north along the river.
So that little jog that goes out on the north side of RWL
Yes.
property is, that's what you're saying, is sort of like they already have a little
They could do
access
that
through
if they
there.
wish,
Okay.
and they currently already have a road that, well, that was a part of this map. There's a road that already brings them out to Sabonic, and another road that'll bring them out to Tuckahoe Lane
I see.
currently.
Okay.
so it
Yeah, that
accomplishes
makes
what
sense.
we're looking for.
Yes, exactly.
As long as it does.
Eliminate the
Yeah.
future cross access to the east of your agreement.
So it's
Yeah.
the amendment of our approval.
And I'd be fine to write that up, that should be like 2
I'll
months.
move it.
Great.
Thank you very much, I appreciate your time.
Thanks for explaining it.
You want us to do it now?
You don't want to
Yeah,
know.
why don't you do it now?
Okay.
Just to clean up,
I'll
so we're
move
All
not
right, a
doing it.
motion by Dennis, second by Kate, all in favor.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, 6 in favor, 1 absent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good seeing you.
Marie, thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
Do we need more papers?
Claire Sandy Hollow, number 4.
Yeah.
Draft
25
staff
Sandy Hollow.
report.
Draft staff report and a decision on this one. This is the change for my car repair shop to a special trade contractor use. On Sandy Hollow Road. We had a pre-submission, and then because it's a special exception, we had a hearing. It's for a landscaping business. So we're reestablishing buffers on the west side and to the north side is residential. The west is zoned HB, however, it is a residential use, it's about a bunch of little cottages. So to establish the 20-foot buffer is in order. So this is just the landscape plan for your reference.
Definitely needs some landscaping there.
Huh?
Definitely needs landscaping.
In the front, yeah, I
Yeah.
noticed that. So, the landscape plan just shows that there's 3 curb cuts right now. They're making 2. That's been approved by the health, DPW. You'll see in
Point, can
in
you
the-
point those out for us? Or here,
You can see that it's a pretty wide, instead of
Yeah.
3, it's like pretty much a big wide
wide
open.
open.
Yeah.
It's going to be 2. One is ingress only, that would be the north one, and the other one will be ingress and egress. That's been approved by the DPW, the who have jurisdiction.
They said they weren't gonna touch the big trees that are there.
No, which is great. So that's very effective as a screen. We just reestablishing these buffers. You can see that they're putting the plantings in this 50-foot to the residential to the north, and to augmenting the one to the west. And they're pulling out those
Those
trailers
cars,
and
yeah.
storage, and that's all shown on this.
Where are they gonna put them?
They're proposing them on the edge here, 1, 2, 3 trailers.
And they use the trailers for storage of equipment?
Yes, for the landscape business.
Trailer, trailer, trailer.
So you want to go through the staff report and the?
Sure.
So it was, on the first page, it was SECR, it was an unlisted action, and you adopted a negative declaration August 14th. Public hearing held on September 11th, 10-day written comment period, and no comments were received during the hearing. And then referrals, town engineer has recommended approval with the requirement of their meeting. Department of Fire Prevention, say this area of public service and fire hydrants, public water service, dumpster requirement, and the drainage shall be either relocated out of roadways or capable of supporting heaviest apparatus. Public Works has indicated their approval. The Economic Development Planning has stated it was a matter of local determination and no other responses. So I've reviewed all these special exception standards, and they meet them. Obviously, we're reestablishing the buffers, and that's one of the requirements. That is under J. They meet their parking requirements, which is I, to jump back. We just talked about the curb cuts. There's gonna be 2 of them. That is G. And then they probably need health department approved for their sanitary. And there is outdoor storage, which they show in this general area here, and they've accommodated that for their parking.
Claire, the 3 storage trailers here, is there any issue with circulation on that side of the?
Yeah, does it show a setback between the storage containers?
It doesn't, it just shows 59 feet from the property line, I believe.
Okay.
So just double checking that.
Yeah, so there should be at least 24 feet around it. I'm not quite sure. That actually doesn't show up on this plan, but I have another copy here. Let's
Yeah.
just see.
Because I could see if somebody was parked over here and then trying to get through. Just, I guess, for them to notate the distance between the edge of the parking space to the edge of the outside trailer.
Right, exactly. Okay.
Also, Claire, is there some rationale as to why they need as many parking spaces?
So what they're showing, yes, so the parking calculations they have require 38 parking spaces because they have 25 employees.
Okay.
So these are.
Right, they're actually-
These are landscapers.
Trying to fudge it.
But, I mean, we had this once before over here on Snake Hollow with landscapers coming for the day and just parking their car, taking their mowers out of the trailer, working for the day and coming back. Is that sort of the business model here?
I think it is, yeah, it is. So they required 38 and they have provided 45 spaces, so there's some extra there. 7
A lot
extra.
of parking.
But you make a good point that, a lot of landscape companies now, you see they're actually giving a truck to someone, so that when they're coming to work, they're not coming in their personal vehicle, they're just coming in their work truck. So if they didn't need as much parking, they could free up like a turn radius around those trailers and eliminate a few spots, just to see what
They
their
have some areas
model
here
is.
where they actually have a truck park, which I assume is the company trucks, right? I mean,
Yeah,
this
some
this
other
also
bigger-
eliminates, I know a lot of landscapers who have a yard where and then they have to find a place to park the equipment somewhere else too, which is, another space that they gotta find that for, so. It's almost preferable to have them be able to park all the equipment and trucks on the site in addition to the employees and anybody else who's coming here.
So they have 6 trailers, right?
Yeah, they have 6. Yeah, they're not, this landscape plan doesn't show the 3
Three in the
other.
middle?
The 3 in the middle.
Right. And these are what size trailers? Do they indicate that?
Yes, they have dimensions on them. There's a dimension on them, but they don't say the dimension on the plans. They just have
Yeah,
a
don't say
total
anything.
of the trailers, which is, all 6 of them add up to 1878. So divided by 6 would be 300.
3,000?
300 apiece.
300?
Yeah.
Minus 20 is 39, minus 8.
And so the landscaping plan on the corner, they have that?
Yeah.
Can you show us that?
Yeah, the landscaping plan, this is showing that the existing vegetation in the front is staying.
What is that, though? I mean,
This is like, this is a rows of arborvitae on the property.
that's along that western side? And what about the peak, this portion?
Yeah, that's the arborvitae right to the peak, yeah.
Are they augmenting that?
Yeah, they don't have to go by, it's quite full, yeah. My comments, when we go further into landscaping, is that they're just proposing some grass here. There's an existing tree that's quite nice here, so if they keep that and then just augment it, maybe another tree they're planting. that should probably give it a nice look, and they
Good,
have the ability to do that.
great.
Do you want them to address that setback issue before we approve this? The deadline's not till the 23rd. It's up to you
I
guys
think it's a good idea,
Yeah.
just to
Setback
make
to the
certain
trailer.
that we have good
for the
circulation.
parking.
A quick clarification
idea.
is, it looks like they only have 20 feet from the corner of the trailer to the parking spot. Because they have
Right.
a 59-foot dimension minus 20 for the buffer, it would leave you 39. Parking lot's usually like about 18, 19, so you're left with about 20 feet.
Yeah.
So they could be shy of 4
The
feet. You
24.
really should have 24 for reversing in
I think so
both
too.
directions.
Yeah, yeah. Which is a matter of maybe adjusting where that trailer goes, because they've got room maybe,
They might be able to shift it, you know, to.
there's
to
room
the
down
east or
there
something.
where there's no parking, they could put it down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put the trailers together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So otherwise, really just my other comments, so we can just tie it up next time when they show that, is, just the lighting, they'll replace any of the lighting that's, floodlights. The landscaping we talked about, oh, and then also with the front, we wanna screen the parking, there's three parking spaces in the front, we want the continuous row of the boxwoods, so you're not seeing the parking lot, that's under C. Lighting, which I just talked about, and, do we want some EV chargers? Would that make sense, at least one?
Be nice, sure.
Okay. Do you wanna do two or just
I'd
one?
say two.
Two,
number
for
of
that
spots,
number of
maybe.
cars, yeah.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
should really come up with some sort of formula.
We've been doing the same as a handicap,
Yeah,
which
That's a
is
good
1 for 20.
yeah.
And if they're 38, then that makes sense to
Two.
have two. Okay, great. And then screening utilities, okay.
The prior use of this was,
Automotive repair.
Auto repair.
so environmentally, we think it's okay, oil cleanup and all of that?
Days, Scott. And at the time of your secret, you
Good, great.
Sherry's here. No, she's got no interest in it.
Okay,
Okay, so we're just gonna table this for the next meeting and
Yeah.
we'll get that clarified. Okay, great, thank you.
thanks, Claire. There you go. Brenna, you're up 45 Foster Avenue.
Up here before I come up.
Right after that. Yeah.
Hello there.
Good, how are you?
Real good.
It is 45
Hi.
Foster Avenue, Bridgehampton.
And your name for the record, please?
Haley Gregor, agent for 45 Foster Avenue.
Haley
Haley Gregor,
Gregor.
Gregor.
Jeffrey Gregor?
Thank you.
Yeah, yes, I have those.
I'm passing out the draft pre-submission conference report. If you want
Oh, yeah,
to
I'll leave this up. Yep.
If I reference anything. This is a site plan application. The lot itself is about a half acre, a little over a half acre, a little over 25,000 square feet. The proposal is to demo the existing structure and construct a new metal building that measures 66 by 112 feet, or just shy of 7,400 square feet. And it's for warehousing, equipment storage for the well drilling operation. And this is an LI 40 zoning district. There's already a cross-access agreement, cross-access agreement easement to the east property. There are two sort of odd-shaped lots, and I don't know if you can tell, but there's a sliver that crosses this lot to the north, so they
Where the
sort of
cars
had
are
to do
parked?
that. I'm
No,
sorry?
where the
No,
cars
no,
are?
that-
No?
Yeah, that sliver sort of, it's right here. It's hard to see. But yes, on the easternmost portion, it sort of There's a strip there.
Feeds into what looks like a dirt road on the other side. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's the right of way, but that lot goes over this lot by a sliver, so they did that easement. I think that's why they did that easement in the past. There was a pre-submission conference held on September 11th. Last month, there were no comments made. It was closed with a 30-day written comment period, which we're still in by a couple of days, so we're reviewing just the draft today. The items to be submitted for site plan review are all typical. I did add Phase 1 ESA, which is that environmental assessment given the use as a auto repair shop. Under the preliminary issues, the use, the applicant's presenting as warehouse storage, which is permitted in LI 40. We've looked at it internally. It reads like a special trade contractor, so I'm recommending it be reviewed site plan special exception. I did have, that is a special exception use in LI 40. I had a preliminary brief conversation with Sean McDermott, who seems to agree. However, the applicant's open to, they can always get a determination from Sean if needed. I don't know if you wanted to speak.
Yeah, we, initially warehouse, the purpose of it is to store the equipment. We do want to have a small, what you call an office, just, put their paperwork down or whatever, but we're not against it necessarily being a special trade. I did look into the code, that SIC code, so I did see where you got the water well drilling as a subtext of, special trade contractor, because I wasn't sure what that actually meant, because it's not defined anywhere. So yeah, I guess my only trepidation is, does that put more, requirement, elongate this procedure going forward? I was reading through, and I guess you can combine the two hearings since we're only in the preliminary. At the point where we get to the final application, we could also do the special exception.
You would do it at the same time at the final.
Correct.
With a special exception of, a hearing is required, whereas you could waive it, but not in this case if it's special exception. So we'd add that 30-day hearing, and then you would still go into a staff report, just like we're sort of going into this report. And then, of course, you'd have to meet the standard requirements, special exception standard
Yes, which,
requirements.
But that-
There's no
yeah.
specific standards, they're just general standards.
Okay.
I looked at it briefly, it seems to all be.
Seems to comply.
yeah.
Is there a bathroom in this office?
We would have a bathroom. It would be for
So
the,
they need health department for that, or?
It might, yeah, they'll.
yeah, we
review
would
all
have to
that when
go
they
through,
the
yeah,
building.
the septic and
Oh, yeah, the
whatnot.
septic.
Yeah, so that was all. Yeah, I mean, it's, there's only 5 or 6 employees. It's not a big operation, but when they're there getting the trucks or whatever, we'd like to have a bathroom,
Sure.
so yeah, so if that's what it takes, if we need the special exception, to have the bathroom in that little area, then it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know, that the bathroom.
Wouldn't make or
weighs-
break it,
no,
okay.
no. And then we'll wanna see the full interior site plans at the final stage. but-
Yes,
For zoning and setbacks, the way the building is laid out on the site, it sort of takes advantage of maximizing the footprint and circulation, and of course, the cross-access easement. They, as proposed, it will require front, side, and rear relief from zoning, which they're aware of, and the lot coverage is, the proposed lot coverage meets zoning, it's 29.3%, where 30% max is allowed. And minimum lot area, it's pre-existing, non-conforming. For parking, they'll need parking relief as well. The required parking, including the truck, is 21 spaces. They've proposed 14. So if they take advantage of the 3 bays and park cars in there as well, then they'll need relief for 4 spaces. But we could also, we'll look at that again closer at the final. I also noted the dimensions of the parking spaces all be uniform. And there's an ADA space here, which I think lands right in front of a garage bay, so I'm just recommending that
Yeah.
be relocated out of the way. Transitional yards for LI 40 is 50 feet. They don't really have that here, or at least not as it's proposed. It isn't met. The existing conditions are where, they have parking out front. There's not really 50-foot transition yards in the other adjacent uses. The planning board has the ability to reduce that or allow them to include parking in the current transition.
It's certainly
Just
an
looking.
improvement.
We don't think
to
we're gonna be
site
hurting
plan.
the area at all, that's
No, I
for
think you'll be
sure.
living there.
Yeah, absolutely.
All those cars.
Yeah.
And there was no public comment during the.
There wasn't, no, there didn't seem to be
No.
any interest. There's nothing been received since it's closed, so. It would be an unlisted action pursuant to SECRA. The lot is in the APOD and the archaeological sensitive areas, but it's been 100% disturbed and used since before zoning, so I don't know that you'll want a phase 1A, 1B.
Doesn't make sense.
There's no real natural features apart from there's a very mature tree line in the right-of-way toward the railroad, so there's a good buffer to the south already. For landscaping and screening, we'll require a landscape plan at the final stage. I put in 4-foot high evergreens around parking where it's allowed. There's not too much area to be landscaped, but screening that as much as possible and I'm assuming that pad is for the trash enclosure?
I believe so,
Okay.
yeah, I think that's what
And
that
then maybe screening that a
contemplated.
little
Yeah,
bit, so
to,
but
in
that all
that back
falls in.
corner, yep.
For the architecture, it's a metal building.
Like a Morton building?
Like, kind of like a
Yes.
Morton building, metal roof, metal.
Oh, good, cupolas.
Metal facade, cupolas, just a horizontal brick towards the bottom without introducing any new materials. And there's windows and doors and bay doors on the 3 sides. This is the side facing the parking lot. This is the side facing the road. And then this is the other end that faces the railroad. Conforms with their master plan. We already talked about the special exceptions right on the last page. Lighting is all standard notes. We'll need a lighting plan and photometric study. There's no signage proposed at this time. I did put in the note in there for sustainability. I know that one of the owners presented, I think, solar panel roof ready and maybe even geothermal, but we'll
Yeah.
look at that again.
Yeah, and my son said you could have it any color you wanted.
Yeah, solar would be great on that.
Yeah, that's what he
It's an
said,
expansive roof line.
And maybe a geothermal loop as too.
Save you money,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Especially on the installation with your business category.
Yeah.
And there's a real, like, the other issues are all standard, no outdoor storage is proposed, no public address, sanitary and drainage to be reviewed by the town engineer, and referrals.
Good.
If there's anything else.
Any questions on your part? Good report?
I
Okay.
guess the question is, do we proceed as a warehouse, or do we go forward with a special exception? Do we have to decide that now?
Well, the board doesn't have to decide that.
they
I don't know if
have-
you have an opinion one way or the other. This is a
Nation,
pre-submission, so if you
Yeah.
really wanted to, you could work on it. You're gonna go to the ZBA anyway.
I would just recommend special trade contractor. It has the higher parking requirement. If they ever then in the future had a special trade contractor and they just wanted to become warehousing, they wouldn't have to come back to this board. So that's just the way
So
we've been
that's a
normally doing
bigger
it.
umbrella.
Approve it for all of it, and that way the lesser impact of uses then.
Yeah,
are
so special
presumed
trade
okay,
contractor.
yeah. That's the way I would do it.
That determination from Sean if you want.
Okay, so we don't have to
Special-
decide it now, okay.
No.
So the building superintendent would.
The chief inspector, yeah.
Okay.
Decide on.
Yeah, you could just get another meeting with him and review with
Okay,
him.
okay, sounds good.
Okay,
You'll have time.
Yeah.
PBA.
Yes, exactly, I know. That's quite the
Adopt the
process.
report.
no, it's just a draft, it's, right?
Yeah,
We're
we
not
can't adopt
adopting-
it
we
because
can't
we're
adopt
still
it.
a couple of days inside the comment period, so
Oh,
I'll
okay,
just
gotcha.
Yep,
bring it back next time.
okay, thanks.
Hey, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think I have the next two.
Teresa is next, she's 103,
Bye-bye.
County Road 39, goodbye, thank
Actually,
you.
they wanna come in and meet with me and see what they can do to possibly redesign the project, so they've requested an adjournment for the public hearing, or for the application. until the first meeting of November. However, I did have a walk-on I had emailed you about, so.
All right, so let's first do an extension here.
Yep.
November what?
13.
13, okay, motion, Kate by Kate, second by David, all in favor? Opposed, abstentions, 6 in favor, 1 absent. And the walk-on then is,
It's 422 Dune Road, Bridgehampton, the subdivision of Edward V. Dula. As you may recall, we did a site plan application for that early this spring for residential additions. This subdivision was done in 1981. And at the time, there wasn't really a conservation board that was active, so the subdivision map indicated that they had to come in for site plan. However, we have a very robust conservation board, they have a lot of expertise on that, so the applicant is now asking for us to amend the covenant and the subdivision map to allow to eliminate the requirement for site plan, and then the application would be reviewed under conservation board, which would be more stringent and have better mitigative measures that they can impose.
so tell us what we're doing here?
So you're amending the subdivision to, and they would file a covenant that says that particular requirement was no longer applicable.
No planning
Does it-
board site plan.
Yeah, no
to
planning
build
board
on
site
these
plan.
lots.
Why was it imposed in the first place?
No
Yes, there was
wetlands
no-
board previously. It was 1981, so it was before they had a wetlands
Oh,
division with wetlands
Yeah, that
permit.
makes sense.
okay.
The conservation board as it exists now was established in 1993, but there were some wetland codes, and I think those went into effect in like 82, 83 after this subdivision.
Their process is identical or very similar to our process of
It
review?
depends. They have a process, if you meet certain setbacks, you get an admin wetlands permit. If you don't, then you have to come in front of the conservation board and seek relief, which may or may not necessarily require a public hearing. But there are there are a lot of conditions that the conservation board often imposes. In this particular instance, for the subdivision here, for the application here, they would require septic system upgrades, establishment of covenanted buffers, those kinds of things.
Okay.
Okay.
From what you're saying, it maintains the intent of the original
Correct.
prescription, but they didn't have the conservation board at the time.
Right, so it shifts the responsibility of review to the Conservation Board, which again has more expertise with respect to wetlands than our board has.
Good. But our action today is to amend the covenant.
Is to amend the subdivision to allow for that elimination of that requirement.
Okay. So, Kate moves it, David seconds it, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, 6 in favor, 1 absent. Thanks, Teresa.
Have a nice evening.
Thank you. Okay, we're moving on to, it is Prina. You're next. Corwith Red Barn.
This is that 5-lot subdivision. I don't know if you recall this.
Oh,
I could show
yes,
you the
on
map.
the ag reserve?
Yes,
Yeah.
they've already preserved the 80%. It's a conservation opportunity to preserve 80% of the lot. They've come back with their final application now, so it's on for completeness. I've reviewed it. It's incomplete. There were a couple items in the pre-app report that we called for determination by Janice on the Long Island workforce housing, and a Phase 1A, 1B for the upper portion lots, which they submitted today. And they actually submitted it for the rear lots as well. And then there are a few map items, so we'll just wait on the resubmission of all those items.
As I remember, our recommendation was that those 2 lots in the rear somehow be absorbed into, or CPF.
Yeah, there was support for that.
Yeah,
So there.
so that there's no interruption for farming.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and then it would just be the 3 lots up
In the
there that
front.
would be developed.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
think that's still an avenue they're going down.
so what are we doing?
Incomplete.
Incomplete.
Deemed incomplete. Motion by Dennis,
Second.
second by George. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions? 6 in favor, 1 absent. Prena, you have Burnett 2012 Family Trust.
This is a pre-application for a lot line modification. It's 114 and 106 Jewel Pond Drive. There's 2 lots. Lot 1 is vacant, and Lot 2 has the developed house and structures on it. This is on, it's flagged on the wetlands inventory, of course. The map that was submitted has wetlands from 2005 that were flagged by the town. I did speak with Marty about it because he's working on a wetlands permit currently, and he knows the site intimately, of course, but he's been there as recently as last month, and he doesn't think it needs to be reflagged. So I didn't put that in as a requirement for now, anyway. But they're looking to transfer about 2,800 square feet from the vacant lot to the improved lot. So imagine like a pie slicer, a wedge with 12 feet of road frontage. And that's for the purposes of a future addition to the western side of the house, so it conforms with the setbacks and.
The wider portion of the pie wedge toward the road or
Yeah.
toward the?
Yeah, to the road, so it sort of just comes all the way down. And it works out to be a little over 2,800 square feet. I've reviewed the application, it is complete, so we're setting a hearing for November 13th. I don't know if,
We're deeming it
I don't know if
complete.
you guys wanted to add anything to that, or?
Yeah, sure, just real quick.
Hi, your name?
Michael Sciano. from
Michael?
InterScience, on behalf of the applicant. This is Kristen Lasawi, one of the planners at InterScience.
I'm sorry.
Kristen Lasoe, environmental planner at InterScience.
I just wanted to note that we're transferring land from the improved lot to the vacant lot. I think it was just a slip of the tongue.
Oh, it looks like,
We have to move the lot line from the improved lot to, actually, no, okay, no. You're right in the way.
That's right.
She was right. No, I apologize.
Dyslexia.
Yeah, moving the line towards that, which
Yes.
means giving the property over.
That's correct.
Correct, yes.
So the vacant lot is giving
A little
the
bit smaller.
developed lot the wedge.
Correct. And she was correct in how she said it, so I apologize. I wasn't sure whether in the notes about putting this on for a public hearing, or if this would happen in the actual report after the hearing, whether you could just make a note that this subdivision doesn't require a wetlands permit because the health department is asking for something in writing from the town stating that the subdivision doesn't require a wetlands permit from the town. My guess is that also an email from you would also be fine. So we just got a notice from them.
I missed that whole thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. So the health department, we got a notice of incomplete from them, and one of the things that they asked for was some determination that a wetlands permit is not required from the town for the subdivision.
And who would write that from the town?
If that's a Marty thing, I mean, we'll refer this,
Planning board could say that. It could be a finding.
Yeah, because the
Right, in the
wetlands is-
report, you could
In the
say you
report is a
referred it
finding.
to.
at the report,
And
at the report stage?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have that document to give to Brenna?
Yes, I will provide that to
Yeah.
Brenna.
That's important.
And,
And do you,
I'm sorry.
do you have any, that's a tennis court, I imagine.
Yes.
Did that need relief from the ZBA?
No. I believe,
Must have a CO.
Yeah. It's a,
yeah, I know that InterScience originally, James Walker originally got the permits for this,
and what year was that?
I want to say 2007, maybe 2008.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
A lot of activity
You're
up there.
looking, Anthony?
Yeah, I'm just looking to see if there's.
Those are all the permits? Wow.
I don't believe they have any variances.
No, it doesn't look like the ZBA needed to chime in here.
So the wetlands line is the blue line? The
No,
lower blue?
those are buffers and
Topo?
easements. These are probably what the Environment Division required
Yeah,
when
the
you built it.
100-foot,
Kind of like hatch blue is the one.
You can see any future development of this property, what exactly the buffers and easements
Yeah.
will look like. They're following the
Right.
water.
And
That easement, I think, does cross, if I'm not mistaken.
It
The lot,
does.
It's just not on GIS.
yeah, the hatch blue line is, I believe, what the DEC had identified as freshwater, like just potential freshwater wetlands, but the actual location of the
Right.
freshwater wetlands I believe may actually be the southern line, because then the southern light blue line and the northern light blue line are the boundaries of the non-disturbance non-utilization buffer.
Okay, so the wedge that's being transferred goes all the way down? It doesn't stop somewhere?
We're pivoting the line 12.46 feet to the west. So the line is not changing, you know, when we,
But it goes to the northerly wetlands, non-disturbance line, right? It doesn't go through all the way to the water.
12.5 feet up here, and then it goes all the way
So it
down.
does go all the way down?
Yeah.
it will go all the way to the water.
All the way to the water?
Yeah. We'll close out.
So is this small piece here?
Yes.
Looks like a little toothpick from there.
So they can expand the existing house a little bit.
Yeah.
This little guy.
Yeah, they had a proposed addition, and it complied with setbacks, but it did not comply with pyramid. And because both lots are oversized already, this was actually more of a closer to as of right than trying to get a variance for.
Yeah.
So that's why we're here. And
Thank you.
and we just sent the email that I received from the DEC regarding the seeker typing. But I did send you, and I actually have copies of it, where the DEC indicated that if their seeker regulations identify it as a type 2 action, then the town cannot then make it a type 1, even if there's something that may qualify it.
I'm gonna put that a little closer, because I think it's what the.
So the wording is lot line variance or adjustments.
Right.
Adjustment is a type of variance. It doesn't talk about land transfers. If it said lot line modifications or land transfers, then it would be a type 2.
So a
Does
lot
not-
line adjustment.
Adjustment means another word for a variance.
Oh,
Yes. So it's not applicable to a subdivision or a transfer. So that's where the thing is.
interesting.
Yes.
But don't we consider lot line modifications subdivisions?
Yes.
We do.
So because it's considered a subdivision, and it's a subdivision in the agricultural overlay district, it's technically a type 1 action.
Yes, because we took it from the unlisted list and made it a type 1, because we value agricultural lands. Yeah.
So,
In our code, the ag makes it a type 1
right.
rather than a type 2.
We
It's
can
the-
talk about it more.
Of course.
So you're comfortable
Yes.
with it. But we don't have to come to that conclusion until.
Right here,
the
right,
report.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're just deeming this complete
It's for completeness.
and to set a public hearing.
Yeah, for November 13th, next month.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Motion?
thank you. Motion by Kate, second by Dennis, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, 6 in favor, 1 absent. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Glad you clarified. Number 9, Scuttle Bridge. Anthony, that's you.
I'll show the board up here. This is the Frith property that we just did a preliminary approval on here. Bridgehampton, Sag Harbor Turnpike, Scuttle Hole Road. This is Scuttle Bridge. Actually, we just did a extension on a site plan. This is over 15 acres or 10 acres, whatever the requirement is, that required site plan approval for a single-family residence. That hasn't been constructed. It does contain wetlands that have been flagged, or they were flagged in 2016 or 2017. They're here, and they're here.
Wasn't this did we not look at this ages ago when Jackie Fenlon?
Yeah, no, this has been before us for years.
Yeah, not
Things
years,
mull
but,
around for years. So they gave us 2 maps. They gave a yield map that shows 7 lots. And by the way, I did give the board my checklist, and the applicant got the checklist as well. And then what they're proposing, regardless of whether this map is 100% accurate yet, what they're proposing is a reduced density 4-lot plan with the lots lined up over here, and then I believe 50% open space covering, all the areas of
Yeah,
the
that's-
wetlands and
that's
so
better.
forth. Looking, as you can see, right to the
Better.
north of this property where those blue lines
Yeah.
are, that's preserved land.
yeah,
So actually, and a lot of what you're seeing on the Frith back there is going to be preserved. So this probably
nice
makes
corridor.
sense, at least in some
Yes.
capacity like this. Right now, I'm recommending that we deem the application incomplete. There was a few items
missing?
that we needed, most notable being Marty's verification of the wetlands. We could get it verified, then we know what the building envelopes would be, and we get a better report out of it. That was the big thing. Go ahead.
That is the big thing.
Yeah,
Okay, Linda,
yeah,
Linda
I
Riley,
just-
for the record.
For the record, Linda Riley, yes, for the applicant.
There's, I don't know why it has to be a requirement that it is verified by Marty in particular.
Well, the Environment Division verifies
has
all
to be the
wetlands.
town.
Has to be the town.
Can't be a,
It can't be the person who flagged the wetlands also verifies the wetlands. That doesn't make a shred of sense.
Yeah, so Marty has to approve
It's
it.
gotta be Marty's office.
how about another professional?
It's gotta be the
Town.
Environment Division. Because here's the deal, his wetlands line stands, period, unless you wanna argue with him if you don't agree with that, if he, but it's gotta be verified by the Environment Division. Linda. Sorry.
Good,
I'm
so,
recommending incomplete at this point.
anything else, Linda? Do you want to,
Is that it? Yeah, okay.
all right, so it's the wetlands,
I'm just, okay, I'll take it back.
wetlands
It's the
verification,
verification
Yeah.
in Marty's office.
particularly on this parcel, yeah.
Yeah, well, the big thing is, Linda, we
Sensitive
dealt with a lot
parcel.
of wetlands in and around this area, to the north, and when we made them update the
We've
wetlands
dealt
line.
with this parcel. I mean, it's been accepted, this flagging, for other purposes. For purposes of approving the site plan, which I understand is just one
Yeah.
building.
When were they flagged?
2017,
Oh, gosh, yeah.
3 years.
3 years, and they move, they dry up, they move, yeah. So just,
Duly noted.
so incomplete, Anthony. right?
Incomplete at this point.
Motion.
Motion by Dennis, second by George, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, 6 in favor, 1 absent. Northwell Health completeness, Claire?
Yeah. This is some of it.
Yes, Anthony's.
Okay, John Bennett,
David Wortman. And Kim Judd.
David,
David Wortman, W-O-R-M-A-N.
Oh, this is it.
From VHB. And I'm
Kim
John
J-
Bennett.
and Kim Judd.
And Kim Judd.
Haven't seen you, Kim, how are you?
Yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you your own maps here. Okay, so this, you have them all? Okay. Can you just highlight the other one?
Which one is it?
The below.
This one?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the two separate parcels.
Oh, this is the rad, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the rad.
Two, maybe.
Oh, there we
Other
go.
one, yeah.
This is the rad.
So that's,
Got it?
That's them, right? Yeah. that's them.
David's here.
There's another red line on there, I guess.
We getting, there's one map here.
Zoning encyclopedia. Oh, my God. Don't blow away. Good.
Share it up there, we'll share one here.
The reduced,
I'll share
the
this.
reduced scale copy, no?
Yeah.
so what you're seeing is the yield plan, and the second sheet is, right down the preferred plan,
I'll take it, yeah.
which is called RAD. So, this parcel is located in the Pine Barrens and also in the office industrial. When the Pine Barrens was approved, it required that towns come up with areas where the Pine Barren credits that were mostly in the core and some in the cattle growth area could be transferred from and landed in. And so this property was designated by the town of Southampton and the Pine Barrens Commission in the report, and considered for a landing spot for this. And so I have been reading this because we haven't done a lot of these. The last one, and John was party to it, I think at the time, was called Sophia's Place. And so,
Jim Zizzi did that. I remember.
Yeah.
yeah, so if you want to identify yourselves, you did, right? For the
Yep, they
record?
did,
Okay.
they did.
Great. So it is starting with a pre-application report. I am recommending this deemed incomplete, and I talked to them in the hallway. Why? There's 2 factors. The northern parcel is not in the RAD. So if you can see that one that is not cleared, is not in the RAD. So that would require a cluster plan to be submitted for this. So the second sheet is, in their eyes, a cluster because they're transferring the credits into the property, so the front is cluster. The back is not, it's just shown as a standard 3-lot subdivision. We would want a cluster, I think you'd want a cluster in this case, just even if it's informational,
Yes, it's
because it
required.
is in, obviously, Pine Barrens overlay district, it's adjacent to open space. So if you had some open space components with this, you'd probably want it in this area. So they should have that as a requirement. So I've noted that. Yeah, and then, so I have a checklist that says that. The other item is just, part of what the Pine Barrens requires is that you have like a density on the underlying subdivision of not less than 1 acre typically, but sometimes it talks about ½ acre. So I just need that average of the entire RAD portion to be noted on the plans.
The mathematics of
Yeah,
that,
the
you mean?
mathematics.
Yeah.
So it's a notation, obviously. But the clustered, obviously, design, we need a design for that, so.
So in reviewing them, we're not fragmenting anything here, or segmenting anything.
Well, it would be considered complete, together.
Together.
Whether even one portion, obviously a majority is in
This
the
is the
RAD.
RAD.
And then a majority would be a plain old subdivision.
Right, right.
What that looks like with the cluster. So I'll let the applicant speak.
So this is, thanks for the opportunity to speak. I'm going to have Dave bring it through some of the, just the whole thinking about this in a very nutshell sort of way, but just in terms of background, and I don't know, some of the board members are very familiar with this, I don't know what, but when essentially the development rights were limited on these areas in the core, to pass constitutional muster under the Supreme Court case that actually goes back to, what's the, Grand Central Station in New York, you have to allow people to transfer that development right somewhere else. Grand Central Station was going to be torn down, and they said you couldn't, the city said you couldn't do it, and went up to the Supreme Court, and the city said, we're going to let you transfer the air rights somewhere else. And so that's what saved the constitutionality of that protection. Similarly, in this instance, when areas in the Pine Barrens, much of what you drive through on 27, those core areas were stripped of the ability to have residential development or any type of development. In order to pass constitutional muster, you have to be able to transfer those rights somewhere else. And these areas, well, particularly the one lot, are in areas where that development is supposed to go. There are 2 lots. The northerly lot is 17 acres. It's in the CR 200. It's not a RAD, but it is in the compatible growth area, which means that you can develop in that area. And then the smaller, and then the lower portion, which is 26 acres, is in the RAD zone. I think all of it, maybe the lion's share.
The 26 acres is the RAD.
So, just so you, it's helpful in terms of.
That's the 20, these two are the 26.
Yeah.
You don't have to take my words for these being as of right. This is directly from the town code. It's the intent of the article to establish a residential receiving area district for the purpose of identifying receiving sites for development or Pine Barren credits which may be transferred as of right in accordance with the procedure set forth herein. So this, what you see as a result of this massive study, this multi-jurisdictional plan of the towns that had things in the Pine Barrens zone. So this is where this density is supposed to go. And I don't want there to be any question, but that we're not asking for something that's unusual. This is exactly the scheme that the state and the
Pine Barrens
towns and the Pine Barrens came up with, and this is where they're supposed to land. Dave, do you want to just take us just to
Sure.
the thumbnail sketch of what your thinking was on how we came up with this?
Sure, yeah, no problem. So as John described, a portion of the site is within this RAD area, right? That's the lower lot. What the regulations describe as far as a procedure here is start with a standard yield map. which is the map marked YM1, and identify what is that standard yield under the prevailing zoning that you have today. A large portion of the site's in the CR 200, the front portion along Old Country Road is in the CR 60 zone, so that's where you see these 3 smaller lots here. Altogether, the standard yield conforming to each of those respective zoning districts is 10 lots. The next step, if you will, is to start to populate that RAD portion of the site with either transfer development rights, or in this case, Pine Barrens credits, because the usage of those credits is encouraged by the program. This site, this lot in particular, is identified as a receiving area for those credits. And what your regulations allow is that you can continue to increase that density by applying credits until you reach a maximum of 2 units to the acre. So the density that you see on the southernmost portion on the YM3 sheet adheres to a maximum of 2 units to the acre. The rear portion, where Ms. Shea is asking that a cluster design be shown, identical virtually from the 2 sheets, and just shows it's the standard yield. And we'll of course be happy to prepare a cluster version of that that still has those same 3 lots. And altogether, this allows that yield to be increased to a maximum of, is it 46 lots between the 2 parcels altogether. The code just further describes that when deciding what to do about dimensional requirements, right, because you're in a CR 200 zone, but you have these smaller parcels that become increasingly smaller as you add credits, is that whatever that lot size is translates back to the equivalent zone. You use the dimensional requirements of that zone, and it gives the example in your code that where you have a half acre average lot size, you apply the R20 dimensional requirements. So this yield map YM3 has the 46 parcels. All of those that are within the RAD parcel conform to the minimum dimensional requirements of the R20 zone. And so what you end up with is what we believe is a conforming subdivision map that's as of right to the prevailing zoning and the RRAD district. The only other features I think worth mentioning here have to do with the set aside of parklands, which is also required under your regulations, and the set aside of an area where stormwater management can be done. And I think that's the layout.
So I just have a question for clarification.
Sure.
So the RAD site itself is 22.10 acres. So do you have to take into consideration the underlying zoning of that or not? Or does it, when the RAD comes in, it's the RAD?
It's captured in that concept of you start with your standard yield, so.
Which would be?
So on the overall parcel, it's 10 lots, but as you can see, the 3 lots are on the other part, the northerly parcel. So the standard yield on the RAD parcel is the other 7 lots. So you start with 7 lots, and then as you increase the number of credits that you apply to the site, you get 1 additional
Right.
parcel per credit. That average lot size starts to shrink.
I see.
You're only allowed to shrink it up to a maximum of 2 units per acre, as I mentioned, but let's say you were sort of falling somewhere in between, something like a CR 60 zone. If you landed in that category, what you'd have is a yield plan that would have to adhere to the CR 60 dimensional requirements.
Got
You add
it.
additional
So-
parcels, then it goes 40, 20.
So it all really depends on how many credits you're
Exactly
landing
right,
on.
exactly.
So how many credits did all this take, this RAD?
That's the delta between, there's 46 total lots here, 43 of which are in the RAD parcel, and the original 7 lots that are the standard yield. That difference is the Pine Barrens credits, which is 36. Thank you,
36
Kim.
credits.
And are they all in the same school district, West Hampton?
They're required to be, it's Eastport.
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 Okay.
They're required to be unless there's an intergovernmental,
Yeah.
inter-town agreement. But we've already, we've already zeroed in on about 16 or 17 of them.
From Eastport. From Eastport.
Yeah, that's where they have to be from unless you get some sort of agreement. It's a school district thing.
It's a school district thing.
So the northern parcel, 15 acres, 70 plus acres, you're proposing an as of right yield on that, because it's not part of the road.
Remember, these lots live somewhere, these development rights live somewhere else. I mean, on.
Yeah, no.
No, I understand.
It's an
That's the whole-
interesting,
yeah.
So those 3 lots in the north will not need to have, will not need to have
Pine Barrens credits,
for
no.
them?
No, that's right.
just the red
And what would
portion.
be a development approval action from the Pine Barrens and those lots seeing they're in compatible growth? Is that allowed? Is that?
I think they'd look at it.
They
but-
would look at it.
They'd look at it, but it'd be hard for them to do, I mean, this falls right, it's like, just the sweet spot. This is
This
the
is
whole-
their determination, right?
This, well,
This
no, it's,
parcel, the town and
That's right.
Pine
yeah,
Barrens
yeah,
Commission.
yeah. This has already been decided to be a receiving area. So,
And you
it would
couldn't-
upset the entire apple cart for this
Well,
whole.
the whole legislation.
Well, except that dotted parcel was, that's not necessary. Was that a receiving area also?
Just the
This
southern.
one, George?
The 3 lots up
The
there?
3 lots?
No,
It's not.
No.
no, Claire was, I
So
think
my
Claire was clear
question
about
was
that.
related to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's strictly as of right.
Yeah, but you might as, they're adjoining parcels, might as well design them,
Yeah.
design
Yeah.
them, this, in tandem.
Yeah.
Any
And-
thought about, I'm sorry, go ahead.
You're collecting credits. You don't have all of them yet, I guess.
No, that's not unusual. On Sophia Place, I think it was, gosh, there were like, was it 10 there? And they gradually got them together. And then we had a larger parcel because we didn't have them. So that was in effect a large parcel. And then the other units came in and there was a further subdivision of that. So, yeah. But there's no requirement that, I mean, you have to, ultimately, you have to have that.
Right, if you were to get more credits than what you need for this, could you shrink these lots further?
No, it's-
No,
I
the
think
max
it's
is
half acre.
two to half
So
This is the most, this is the most.
Pine Barrens
it's a-
says
The
the most is
And
a
you
half
can't,
acre.
acre,
Yeah.
and
that's
you
what-
can't apply it to these 3
No.
lots.
Okay.
No, you can't apply to those 3
They're
lots,
not
exactly.
part of the right, this piece is in the
So
right.
Claire, tell us again, why is it incomplete?
Sorry?
Why is it incomplete?
Oh, we need
She
the
wants some
cluster for the
information.
northern
Yeah,
parcel.
that's no problem.
Yeah. So Claire,
I
what
mean, we
was
didn't
the,
think, we were gonna end up with parcels that large. Anyway, but just the exercise to show the density. So, but yeah, it's easy enough to do a cluster and give the math for the average.
Yeah, which is easy.
Yeah.
so just a quick question. What is the Pine Barrens Commission's role in this? Do they also have to be part of the review? or-
Well, we definitely would, once it's complete, we'll definitely refer it, but as I'm reading in this, they would approve this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
They're checking it too, to make
Yeah.
sure that it goes through it per the plan.
right.
As a general rule, because I completely agree, but as a general rule, unless you're doing something that contradicts their plan, there's not like a formal approval per se. You know, they would review
I
it for
read something,
consistency.
it was, but it was a very quick read yesterday, so I'm definitely going to get it.
So leave it to
Knowing
Claire.
that there's limited number of credits available in each area, do we have a sense, I guess that's a question for you, of whether the number of credits needed, 36, are available within the appropriate district?
We wouldn't be doing this if we weren't confident that they were. And as I said, we've already got a line on probably 50 to 60.
Okay, and then at what point do you have to verify? Is it just before the final approval, or is it a part of completeness to have those credits in
If you look back to Sophia Place.
I'm
it was
asking Claire.
before- I'm telling you based upon my experience. If you look back to Sophia Place, I'm the only one that I know that's done one of these things. And if you look back to Sophia Place, it was before final approval.
Okay.
There
and
was
I
an
wanna ask
analysis
you again.
done. Yeah, there was an analysis done during the process, definitely, about credits and like that. I saw the report, so, but I didn't read it, but I will. Of credits, availability.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you,
so-
appreciate that.
Listed by tax map number in the Pine Barrens.
Yes, they,
Yeah,
yes.
And these would all be individual septic systems.
Yes,
Correct.
yes.
9 a.m.
Right.
The one thing with any subdivision coming in, is the Long Island workforce housing, any consideration or thought to that, or?
Not
do
at this
we-
point, but we'll have to deal with it.
Yeah, so I'm not quite sure how that comes to be, but we have to, we haven't
What's the
had this.
requirement? How many units?
When you get to 10, then it's
Then it's
one.
one.
I thought
and
five
then-
was the threshold.
Oh, 5 is the
Five
threshold,
is-
you have to at least do one, but
Yeah.
I think it's 10, and then Anthony knows better than I am. 'cause he does more
Yeah, I mean,
supervision
you
for
know,
that.
once you're proposing a residential project with 5 or more dwelling units, you have to give a density incentive of 10%, whatever that number is over 5. So, you know, if they're doing all affordable or whatever the case may, I have no idea. We've discussed it, I don't have an answer. But yes, that's how it
Right now, at
works.
46, it would be 5.
To increase the density.
Right, exactly, and to increase the density.
But they can't increase the density. They can't.
Well, can we, I don't know if there's an exchange where we could give you the credits if we had them in the East Courts
I
and in
mean,
the Pine Barrens.
that would be a wonderful conversation. I just don't, it seems to be like there's a hard line at that, then
Max
2
half
per
acre.
acre.
Yeah.
I would love to have that conversation.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is all,
Yeah,
we need to
it's
investigate
all,
that. You have a right to put density.
We
here.
actually considered that, but that was one of the,
yeah,
we hit a wall with that.
sure. I mean, if they're saying you're maxed out at 2 for 1/2 acre.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of information, there's a lot of things going on here.
What you're saying is,
I was just, that was our analysis, that's all.
okay, good.
Yeah,
That's
so
it.
incomplete,
All
and you'll
right.
see it again. No, John did ask for a work session. I thought this was a
Absolutely.
little mini work session, but
No, let's have
maybe a
another.
work session, I'd give you information ahead of time,
Be
you can
great.
read it, and then we'll do it. Does that sound right?
Yep,
I just wanted to,
excellent.
There, do you want these back?
We've had some training on it as well. No, I mean, we did.
no,
Yeah.
we've been, the Sophia Place was the last one.
I don't remember.
Dennis was the only one
I
there for
don't
that.
remember. The very beginning,
I was
I
here
was
for that
green.
with my engineer.
All right, so
There's only the two of you, really?
No, I was- I'm the
Dennis
engineer, so I
remembers
left
it.
time.
George is probably the engineer.
Yeah,
Might have been,
the
right.
engineer.
So
like
let's
coming
do
in
this
9 or
incomplete. Motion by Kate, second by David, all in favor.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, 6 in favor.
Thank
One
you very much.
absent. Thank you,
Thank you very
thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you, David. Okay. Anthony, Heatherwood at Hampton Bays.
I have it on, it's on twice, it's on 11 and 13. So number 11, we're not dealing with, we're gonna do it at number 13. So just,
Okay.
let Seth do his last thing. Not his last thing, never mind.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
12, I guess.
Seth, you want to come in here?
I got that.
12?
For completeness, yes, this is 59 Mariners Drive, LI 40. Extra space storage, they have before us for a site plan, and right now it's completeness. I'd like to deem them complete as they've complied with my request for an updated site plan that showed what area, what parking spots they were renting. They
Oh,
have-
right.
They have required parking, and it was, I found out that they were renting the required parking. So we had them designate the extra spots, which were 7, on the site plan, and they sent that to me, so.
Okay, so we're deeming it incomplete.
Deeming it complete.
Complete.
Motion.
Complete.
Oh, complete.
I have the
Okay.
revised site.
Are we
You wanna-
waiving the hearing with a 30-day written comment period?
It's a special session.
So we have to have a public hearing.
It's
Special
it's in
exception.
LI 40, and it's permitted, it's a special exception for a storage facility. But it has an approved site
You need the
plan.
special exception the first time?
I guess so. They're just converting office space into
It was a
store.
500 square foot conversion interior to
Oh.
the building.
This
So I
action
think
is
a
not
30
a special exception.
So I think a 30-day written comment period?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Good.
okay,
I'll move it.
So it's not special exception, it's just site plan.
okay.
Need a
30
motion?
30-day written comment period, it's complete. Motion by Dennis, second by Tom, all in favor. Opposed, abstentions, 6 in favor, 1 absent. Now, 13.
So I have, everyone's familiar with this project, right? This is, you can see it's Hampton Bays right on the highway there, just to the east of the Atrium development, which is right at the corner there with Flanders Road. You might recall this, we did a work session on this, and then
Oh,
we had a
yes.
pre-submission on
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
So the proposal is to They have the adjacent apartment complex, as you can see in the rear.
It's the same developer,
Same
correct?
developer,
Yeah.
so they're going to be, and this was all approved as I should say, the change of zone to MF 44 was done decades ago. So in the back portion, they'll be expanding that apartment complex to provide additional units back there. And then the front portion, you might recall, was ground floor, commercial retail with apartments above. So you can see, the apartments in the back and then actually. That's nice to look at.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
So you sort of get a sense here. A couple things, it's a pretty big project here. We have a lot going on. And I should say, we're also including affordable units in both portions of this. One of the things that came out of the report was we didn't want all the affordable units just to be located above the stores in the front. So this project, we have a technical review. I provided the checklist. And the engineers need some stuff, and I spoke to the applicant, and we need some additional information as it pertains to the technical review. We also have to complete SECRA as part of this, and they submitted some SECRA information, a traffic study, and that archaeological report that we requested. Because I'm still waiting for some additional information, including some expansion on some SECRA items, I'm not prepared to, coordinate SECRA just yet. The applicant's aware they're going to get us the additional information, and then we could coordinate. They did submit the traffic study that this board suggested at the time, and wanted to see. As the board would like to ultimately hire a traffic consultant to review, in this case, the study.
Yes. Sure,
I'm
I
just
think
asking
so.
to be.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
It's a big impact going to be coming out in Montauk Highway.
You bet. Yep.
A very difficult area.
No left turns. Is
then,
there
I
any
mean-
coordinate access to the atrium?
We had that discussion.
Yeah.
I didn't come across anything, Dennis, because that's sort of a,
It's a natural idea.
it's
you know,
natural,
but-
it's sort of crucial. Anybody who's, and I'm here at this intersection every day, this is a rough area. It gets busy. And, when you come out of even the gas station, you have the turning lane coming right to the thing. I mean, it's sort of, it's a very busy area. So I typically don't review the traffic studies and that kind of detail. So if the
We've
board
had
was
some
inclined,
on some of
then
those
part of what
parcels.
I'll start, to get the application going is I'll put out those, requests for services and then come back to the board. So we could at least.
Is there cross-access with the bank, and then with the bank to the atrium, or not currently?
I was about to ask.
I have the layer on.
The cross-access layer?
Okay.
Here, hold on, if you give me 1 second.
I think it's on there.
Yeah, let's see.
I don't think we have very much there, Claire, do you?
I don't know.
Yeah, because if they could get to the bank and to the atrium, you can go right out.
And the bank.
If you came out the back
So
of the
this
bank
isn't-
and
You
went.
have to go east,
Yeah.
you could go on Old
Ingress and
Riverhead Road.
egress and
Yeah.
sign
that way.
easement.
Yeah.
Ingress and egress easement. I'm not really sure what that means exactly. So I'll verify about the cross-access, we
Okay.
will certainly. But we're on completeness now, I'm recommending, that we deem the application incomplete. I believe, Sean's here if you want to speak to the board about it.
Can we do a work session on this? do you think?
We did have a work session
did? Oh,
initially,
we did
and
when
we
the
did the
applic-
pre-submission on this.
Okay.
Right.
So I'm
We
pretty
looked at the
comfortable.
buildings and, yeah. Anthony, what about the allegations of a colonial era cemetery?
So they did get an archaeological done on this site.
What kind of report, just a literature search? Or?
I don't know yet, actually.
1A and B, they're probably.
A and B, right?
It would be
They have
both,
to do
yeah, it
1A and
wouldn't
B.
be just a little.
So it has to be a
search.
shovel probe as well as Phase B.
With the test pits and everything,
Yeah.
with the borings. There we go, that answers that. So that's what I have for the board.
Okay, so we're deeming it incomplete.
Okay, motion.
Motion by Kate, second by David, all in favor. Aye. Opposed, abstentions, 6 in favor, 1 absent.
Just at that point, one of the items that I gave on that checklist was, not just for the architecture review board, for the planning, some color rendering, so we could see, what it's gonna look like on the street. It's prominent,
Is Christine coming back in, or Sean? So we did it, we moved
Yeah,
that
we did that.
incomplete.
Got a couple re-veg plans we could look at.
Can't be signed plans.
That's all right. Fill in the dead.
We don't have any sound plan because
All
she's
right.
not here.
I know,
Because she's not here.
No, she was here.
she just walked out a couple
No,
minutes ago.
Gloria is not here for signed plans.
Oh, something.
The corner lot had the
All right, you want to just,
I could start.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, the board is familiar with this site. It's
okay, no,
471.
Christine is back, okay.
This is Charlie Fox, 471 County Route 39, in Tuckahoe. This is an application. We did a pre-submission on this, which I believe we adopted in August. We received initially a submission that included, and I did do a checklist. I provided the checklist to the board and to the applicant. We initially got a submission of a petition, a map, and some other information, but as the checklist showed, we didn't get a lot of the required information, the application forms, the fees and such. And also, when we get that information on an initial submission, we refer to our engineer who does a review as well. I saw Dave just before the meeting. He did come in with a new submission. I haven't looked at it in detail. It was brought down, submitted to Kerry. I'm sure she's going to refer to the engineer. My recommendation is that we would deem this application incomplete. And should everything be in order for next time, I would put it back on. And certainly,
Right, with a site plan.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like I said, paperwork was submitted today.
Yeah.
I just haven't, gone through everything yet.
okay, so David,
Couple of things. First, I want to provide to you a preliminary injunction that was issued by the Supreme Court in Albany, and that restricts OCM to using what I will call the original proximity requirements with schools, and it requires you to consider it, like your code says, on the same road, 500 feet away. Your pre-submission conference report reads the following. The New York State Office of Cannabis Management recently issued a memorandum that questioned the consistency between 9 NYCRR 119 and Cannabis Law 72.6. You go on to say further, the state clarified that the school does not have to be on the same street.
Do you have another copy?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Does not have to be on the same street as the cannabis dispensary for the distance requirements to be applied. In this case, Tuckahoe School directly abuts the subject property. I then look to what your directions are under the pre-submission conference part of your code, 33184. And it says, the purpose of such conference shall be to discuss the proposed uses or development of the site and to allow the planning board to determine conformity. In your pre-submission report, you said that we didn't conform based on a memo.
David, they said you may not conform.
No, I think if you read it, that's,
Did.
Okay.
Read the resolution.
right, but at the end, you say it, but here, you find that, right? So that's where you've determined conformity, right, and you said no.
we
Didn't say no.
understand all of that.
Okay, all right, so let's fast forward to Monday, when the Office of Cannabis Management does an advisory opinion that was voted on, that deemed your cannabis, the zoning code illegal with respect to the cannabis code, right? And in August, you're quite willing to look at a memo from OCM. And then this law comes out and you take an inconsistent position. My request is that this be treated fairly as we work through the process, but there seems to be, at least as of now, some inconsistency with this board and the town's position.
So noted, David. So we're going to deem it incomplete until we get, and then we'll process it, absolutely.
May I be heard on this?
Yes, and you are?
I'm James Malius. I'm an attorney, but I'm also one of the business owners.
James?
And I wanted to come here and speak to all of you briefly. on the matter.
Mallios.
Mallios.
Yes.
So I'm a full-time resident here in this town, and I've been a business owner here for 10 years. As part of that, I've probably been involved with and donated to more local 501c3s that I can think of. I'm not someone who's come to this town out of the blue, out of nowhere, to open a small business. I got involved in this particular industry for two reasons. I'll be lying or disingenuous if I were to tell you that I didn't think there was an economic opportunity, and you would, if I did that, you should not believe me. But I should also tell you that one of the reasons I got involved in this was my uncle who was dying in hospice, and nothing would help him with his pain. He asked me for cannabis, and it did. My father, who has debilitating back pain from sciatica and cannot basically leave his couch, the only thing that helps him is cannabis gummies. So I saw two things. I saw a community, three things. I've been involved for a long time as a business owner, as a person who lives here. And I saw a need for something that, because we deal with wine a lot at the restaurant. Wine's very intimidating for people, I find. Right? I don't know if you've ever felt that way, but even I, who have a sommelier certification, don't like being made to feel small when I go to a restaurant or wine. And we felt that there was not a store that I would be proud to have my parents come in or show my children where their father worked, or where people could come in and feel could benefit from this product, could come in and feel that someone wanted to hear what they had to say and try their best to meet that person's needs and some of the main medical benefits that are out there. It's very hard for me to understand how certain memos are used to prevent an application from moving forward, but then resolutions that are passed by vote, authorized by statute, that speak to the intent and the preemption of the state can be disregarded this way. I don't follow it, and it makes no sense to me. That's it.
Mr.
Okay,
Manis, can I
thank you.
say, I want to say something. I am super sorry, I really am, that you are in the position that you are in, and I sympathize with everything that you're saying. I don't know why a site plan wasn't just filed. Honestly, as your counsel said, our code says same side of the street, so we would be bound by that. The intent of this board was that it said it may, because things were changing and we didn't know. The memo had just come out from CCB changing how they were constructing those regs. That's why we raised the issue. It was not the intention to say no, it was the intention to say may. And that's why, if you had just put a site plan approval in, or a request for that, this would not be happening. I understand you've been counseled, and I hope that you're okay that I speak to him, because I do feel badly, as everyone can sympathize with him. This is not
All right, but-
something that should have happened.
But you raised an issue, and part of it is that the cannabis law preempts town zoning, except for.
We disagree with that, David.
Well, it's in the law.
David,
You can't
your
disagree
interpretation,
with
it
the law.
doesn't, your
Are
interpretation
you
of that
saying
is
that,
different
are
than
you saying
mine.
that 119.2 does not apply to this
Are
board?
you saying that you could walk into a residential house and put a cannabis
I'm-
dispensary?
What I'm asking is, in this review, is this board limited to 119.2, which lists the time, place, manner restrictions directly that the town has to enforce?
If you think that excludes zoning, yes, we do not agree on that.
But no, we're in a proper zone, right? That's how we're here.
That's right.
We'd be in
You're a
front-
special exception. You are presumed permitted
But-
in the
but-
zonings, which is
but-
why you just should have just followed through with the site plan.
Okay,
Yeah.
so your position is that the position of the planning board and the town is that 119.2 that lists the specific factors that this board is allowed to review in a site plan you're expanding it beyond that. You're
No.
not limited to 119.2.
We are limited by 119.2, how we interpret 119.2, not your
May I ask
interpretation.
a question?
Sure.
Just 'cause I
But
wanna-
either way,
Yeah,
you're still
that's a
eligible.
good question. Okay.
You don't have to talk now, you don't have to talk.
So we're deeming it
I just
complete,
wanna
and you'll
tell you
file
what
a site plan application. Okay?
Paperwork came in.
So a motion here to deem this incomplete by Dennis, second by George, all in favor. Opposed, abstentions, 6 in favor, 1 absent. All right, moving forward, 15. Seth, site disturbance.
How about some revegetation and help clear?
You're the master of this.
Look at the different.
We welcome that.
Okay. So we're going to go to Mount Misery, Lot 52, the location of which is 122 Denise Street.
Mount Misery is a real name.
We've been clearing all this stuff.
It's a real name. Mount Misery was the real name. I thought he was.
No, it is. I think it was Dennis. I do remember Sophia Place. I remember Zizzy, but I don't remember the application.
So this is in the R20 zone, also the APOD, which would allow this residence a 60% clearing. The lot size is 26,994. The lot has been cleared to 86.2, needing a 26.2 revegetation of 7,072 square feet.
Right. That whole front part's been blown out, right? Yeah.
It was, there's been quite a bit of construction, as you can see on the house.
Is this an elevation? Is the elevation pretty flat or?
Yeah, it is actually. I mean, there is some topography towards the back, but there has been some grade. I think some grading done for the pool area. So that being said, it's been a very tricky revegetation. As you can see, there's things are spread out throughout the structures. That is. However, I did get a plan from the homeowner. That has quite a significant amount of native vegetation being put in. 115 blue stem, 125 Pennsylvania sedge, 3 swamp magnolias, 3 dogwoods, some red maple, sweet gum, and a variety of cinnamon and royal ferns. So
It's a nice combination.
it is a nice combination. And it was tricky, but we did find some areas that do not have any man-made structures, and we're able to meet the percentage required.
16.2%?
Yes, 7,000 square feet. 7,072, that is.
Okay. So if you're satisfied with it,
I am satisfied. I bring it to you only because I think we've gotten this the best we can for this lot. So I would propose that we adopt their revegetation plan.
any questions?
No.
Motion? George? Second by Tom, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, 6 in favor, 1 absent. Seth, why don't you just continue?
Yeah, shall I?
Yeah,
continue?
let him.
Yeah, same.
17, Guy Rigler.
Oh, okay.
87
So 17, all right. Guy Riegler, the third, lot 1. Linda Cabot is here.
Linda,
and
how are
I-
you? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I've been here in a long time.
Okay.
And this, Matt?
No, we have Kubar Chopra.
Oh.
Okay, yes. So Matt is our landscape revegetation specialist, but he's not able to attend today. But hello, good afternoon, honorable members of the planning board. It's great to be here. I'm Linda Cabot, permit consultant on behalf of the applicant, 87 Southampton LLC. I'm going to give you a little bit of background about this property.
Is this pulled up?
The address is 87 Castle Hill Court, Southampton. It's up in North Sea. This property is a foreclosure property that was recently acquired by the new homeowner. So the site is a flag lot. It's 5.14 acres. It's in a CR 200 zone. And I have been retained as the permit consultant to assist the new owners for many building and electrical permit issues that were present at this site. There is a house at this site that was originally built in the 1980s, and a subsequent owner foreclosed, but before he foreclosed, he opened up numerous renovation permits, numerous electrical permits that were open and expired. So the burden went to the new owner to reopen, supersede those things, and deal with a host of issues. So they bought it highly disturbed with property maintenance issues and over clearing. So we're here today because we're at the end of the building permit process. Amen. And we
now you got
have
clearing issues.
we have gotten through all of the site compliance issues for satisfaction of the building department and the electrical department, and it took us 2 years. The project manager
Aren't
on
you lucky?
behalf of the owner's family, Kuvar, helped to oversee all those compliance measures. It's his first rodeo before the planning board with the landscape requirements issues. So it's been a bit of a learning process. So we are in a CR 200 zone, and we need to be 15% as our clearing limitation, with 85% to be our forested condition and no fertilized vegetation. So within that 15%, we can have our buildings, our structures, our lawn, our patios, our walkways, and this site has substantial development on it. There are two very large structures. One is the primary, and it is a single-family home, fully renovated, close to 4,800 square feet, and it has a swimming pool and a finished basement. And there's also accessory structures, a very large artist studio. It is close to 2,400 square feet. So from an aerial photo, it will actually look like two houses, but that is an artist studio. In addition, there's a spa, a deck, a pavilion, a privacy wall, a metal storage shed, plus a driveway pier, all of which needed to be legalized, and we are at the tail end. Now we're before you. So we have brought together Matt Stengel of Hampton's Rustic, as well as John Barliski as our surveyor. And this was a tricky site because there's lots of improvements on this site. So you have to cherry pick where can you do the revegetation to correct what a prior owner did wrong. So we have selected revegetation areas. We've worked with Seth in order to identify those areas. And we have come up with a number of areas for a substantial plant list to be put in place with irrigation to keep those going, and leaf litter mulch. But we also have two additional areas that we are not proposing plantings, and I did bring photos, and there are 8 copies here, Seth, so you can get one for the record. And then the photos we're going to talk about. The two areas that we're not proposing actual plants, there is no irrigation there, but there are canopy trees. The trees were never cut. And we're proposing leaf litter mulch because underneath those canopy trees, there's an understory that's naturally restoring itself. And we're asking for you to allow that as our site disturbance correction plan. So I'll turn it over to Seth so he can explain what's before you. But I wanted you to get the background to know that the individuals who were responsible for doing the wrong thing in the Aquifer Protection Overlay District was a prior owner. It is the current owner who took on the site to correct all the neighborhood problems, including now the environmental restoration.
Not uncommon.
Thank you.
So, thank you for giving
Yes.
a fantastic summary of what we've gone through to get this, again, closer to the finish line.
Yes.
I had initially done my site inspection in December 17th. What I saw was quite a bit of disturbance. I had reached out to Lynn and said, I really feel there's more clearing going on this property than the initial survey alludes to. I had discussed with them that there were these two areas that Linda brought up. The front island area, which has a full-grown canopy, and an area between the two homes, which also had some of the existing canopy. And I had noticed a lot of moss, and it looked like perhaps they had just blown all the leaves off, so my instinct at that point was, well, this is cleared. However, having gone back later and seen it in more of a springtime setting, not with everything being dead down to the ground, I've noticed that this moss is quite prevalent in certain areas.
Sure, yeah. And it's beautiful, moss is beautiful.
Yeah, so.
It's hard to cultivate.
We discussed that this area was already in the process of rewilding, perhaps prior to the current homeowner's ownership, that there had been some shrubs and grasses removed, but that this was underway, was starting to revegetate all on its own.
Were you able to identify the type of plants that are growing back? Because oftentimes when you have clearing, you then have like the garlic mustard or other, non-natives that are growing.
There was some blueberry bushes. There was unfortunately
great.
some weeds coming back, and we had discussed maybe the elimination of the weeds as well.
The mulch is shown there right now, that's not leaf litter, that looks like wood mulch, that's there right
Yeah,
now.
that's not compliant mulch.
So
That
you
is
will plan to
actually
remove that and
bark,
put-
and it will be removed and be compliant leaf
Leaf litter.
litter mulch. It was done because as a construction site, we started to see a lot of weeds cropping up and things like that, and it was to tamp that down. And now that it's tamped down, it can be raked out gently, relocated to an allowed landscape bed, and leaf litter mulch is going in place. So what we're asking you to consider is we have 3 areas that will be heavily replanted with a long list of plants with irrigation going in. And then we have 2 areas that have mature trees that are already restoring themselves with blueberry bushes and the like, and we want to put leaf litter mulch only in those areas. And part of the reason why is not only the great expense of doing revegetation, but the fact that there's only a private well at this site servicing this parcel, and the draw on the water will be too substantial, in our opinion, for more irrigated beds for that kind of plantings. We'd rather see the natural plantings restore themselves. And of course, that bark will not be there. And site inspection by town planning is always part of your process, so they'll be able to see that. I'm just showing you existing condition, so that you at least see that.
Shown this to Marty at all?
No, Marty has not been weighed in on this, no.
No. But
He doesn't
normally it's a
usually-
planning board authority.
He doesn't
correct?
usually weigh in on site disturbances, unless it's a special circumstance.
So, Seth?
So with the elimination of those 2 areas, we're still looking at a 21.57% revegetation. This is a substantial amount of the site, or that's 14,324 square feet. The proposed revegetation by Rustic Hamptons has a very robust list, 19 shadbush, 14 dogwood, 11 witch hazel, 8 holly, 20 red cedars, and 42 scarlet oaks. That would be fleshed out with additional red chokeberry, mountain laurel, spice bush, the bayberry, and the high-low blueberries, as well as a number of sedge and ferns throughout. So it was a bit of a give and take, and I think a learning lesson for me was noticing that moss and going in the middle of December, maybe you're not going to get the best view of what's growing at that point. So.
So does the re-veg plan satisfy what you're looking at?
It's a great re-veg plan, I think, at the end of the day.
Provided we implement it, then it's great.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we're
Yeah.
done with the
Well,
whole
we'll
process.
make sure of that.
Yes.
Well, Seth will monitor it.
That's it.
It's interesting that they've specified witch hazel. You don't see that very often. I have some
no.
witch hazel trees that bloom in the winter.
Yeah,
so.
highly recommend Hampton's Rustic. They've been great to work with. for this process. It's been difficult to find somebody to help with such an expansive amount of revegetation that's necessary, so
Where are
I'm
they,
very
Linda?
satisfied with that as well.
Where are they?
They're located here in Southampton,
Southampton?
off of David White's Lane area, okay? And Matt Stengel, excellent, and you can see from the work he put into making it clear for you where those areas are and the plant list.
Okay. You're satisfied, Seth? That's great.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
both for coming.
Thank you for,
Jackie, I said oh, you got it?
Did you? Oh,
The guy in the corner.
that's a heart attack.
Is what?
I just wanted to.
Okay,
See you,
thanks.
Linda.
Thank you too. So, Seth?
No, can we go back to 16? Because the gentleman's.
Yeah, the
Do we need
applicant's
a
here.
resolution on this?
Yeah, we need a resolution. Motion by Tom, second by George, all in favor. Opposed, abstentions,
Wherever that is.
6 in favor, 1 absent. Okay? Seth?
I think 16 is coming up.
Yeah, he's sitting here.
16 is 1052 Noyak Path.
This was in the packet. This will be very, very quick. We did a pre-application, actually, if you
Oh, yes,
remember, we
I
had a
remember
hearing
this.
on this. It was a
See?
pre-application for.
Artist with the
Right, the
studio.
artist with the studios. A two-lot subdivision and the covenant amendment in order to get that two-lot subdivision.
Yes.
So we did the pre-app report and, at the suggestion of the board, Dennis initiated a conversation, said, give us some clearing numbers. What do we have as a whole? What do we get as a result of a two-lot subdivision? So I put this memo together and I'll make it easy. So, and by the way, they have an updated survey that has all the clearing on there and everything. That's good. As the property as a whole, the maximum clearing will be 55,355. That's what's permitted. Right now, they're at 41 and change. If you just turn over to the last page, when you break it down individually, which is what I did, the total amount of clearing for 2 lots would be 73,808, which is about 18,000 and change
Are those
more.
numbers here?
Yeah, they're on here.
You're saying go to the back, where is it?
Oh, I'm sorry, here, we'll start on the front again.
Start in the front and then go to the back.
The existing property, as it is as a whole, is, if you look, line number 3, maximum allowable clearing, 15%, which is equal to 55,355 square
Got it.
feet. They're currently at 41,040 square feet. Now, if you look at the next one, I broke it down into parcel 1 if it was subdivided, and what the maximum clearing would be. So parcel 1 would be allowed 37 and change. And if you turn over, parcel 2 would be allowed 36,000 and change individually. So when you add those up, that gives you 73,000, and that's on the back, the last paragraph, Jackie, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
73,808 square feet, and that's
Combined.
about 18,000 more
More.
than what you could get here. So my suggestion, and I spoke to, the owner, I said, listen, if you could just, and they're not over cleared in either scenario, just so you know, if you just limited it to 56,000, 28,000 square feet each, right now.
Which is the amount you get in a single lot.
Now that's generally more consistent. It's a little bit more than the 55, but I'm trying to be somewhat reasonable. If they, agreeable to 56, which I think he said he would, then I would be okay to do a covenant amendment for which we had a hearing already.
each lot would get
28,000.
28, right.
And now you're right where we were in either scenario.
Okay.
So we could go ahead with the subdivision.
Well, they could go, we'll do the covenant.
The covenant
Oh,
amendment.
okay.
That's
I'll do it for another resolution. I just wanted to show the
Thank you,
board.
Anthony. That's very
So we're not gonna
clear.
act on
That's
this
good.
today. We're not acting today?
Not today.
Okay.
Great. Thank you.
This is great. Thanks, Anthony.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Good luck.
You want to go on the record for that?
Sorry about the wait.
Seth, number 18, Rothenberg and Lisserson, lot 4, Sagaponic.
Total clearing is less.
Is it in?
Spring
Is
Tree
it
Path,
in
yep.
Sagaponic?
Village, but
No, it's unincorporated.
unincorporated.
Okay.
Rothenberg, lot number 4, 382 Sprig Tree, CR 120. That's a 45,687 square square foot property, or 1.05 acres. It would be allowed 50% under the APOD regulations. Its current clearing is 62.2%. Therefore, they have come in with a revegetation proposal of 7,789 square feet, which would put their final clearing at 45%. I have been working with this applicant to design an expansion of what the natural area. So you're bulking up the amount of natural area on the site. So that front area there that you see is the main thrust of the revegetation plan. That would contain 16 white oak, 19 red oak, 24 bayberries, 10 flowering dogwoods, and then the rest would be a smattering of New York fern and some different sedges. There had been some work done prior. I have made a site inspection and verified that there are a number of other native plants, and that was perhaps a little bit of the give and take, was give us some more revegetation because of you've put in a bunch of natives, but you did it without kind of
A plan.
a plan. So let's get the front area revegetated as much as possible, which they've done. And then they would also propose, you can't really see here down at the bottom, but that's a shed to the south of the house. So they go around the shed in that area. Some of the other plants that were put on the site did, like I said, conform with our native plant list. So we have mountain laurels and inkberries and some other.
Great. You're satisfied?
Yeah, I think this is
You do God's work, Seth.
each one counts. I hope they all add up to
bet.
something.
Every tree, every plant, it's
That's a great little
wonderful.
street.
It's a beautiful street,
Isn't
and
that
I
a great
kept
little
saying, look
street up
across look across the street. That's what we're trying to achieve, and
Yeah.
she took that to heart, the applicant, and gave me a pretty good
Right, you worked
revegetation.
with her. Great.
Okay.
Any questions? Motion by Kate, second by Tom, all in favor? Opposed, abstention, 6 in favor, 1 absent. And then you have 97 School Street, I know that well, in Bridgehampton, that's that little building.
So I have a
Behind-
planning board referral to hand out. I put it in the packet. But we can just, you know what, I think I gave all of them. I don't have them. Thank you. So, yes, this is Round Swamp, yep. Round Swamp Farm. So what we have before you is a ZBA referral, and so we're just going to be looking at what they're asking for a variance for. It is a 2-story retail / apartment on that site. It has a grand history that I won't get into today. But the only thing we're concerned with today is, if you can see, there is a 500 square foot garage right there that they are hoping to convert into more retail space. However, by converting that is 2 of their parking spots on a very limited square foot property.
It's a very tight lot.
They don't use that parking, they use the public lot.
They use a
Everybody
lot.
uses the public
Plus
lot.
there's street parking there too.
And that is really what I note in the ZBA referral. As the property, the planning board notes that the lot area of the subject parcel has constrained the amount of parking that can be accommodated on site, and finds that the location of the subject property adjacent to the Bridgehampton municipal parking is sufficient to cover the needs of the additional parking under the proposed application. This
But what about
conversion,
paying into a parking fee?
They have to.
pursuant to
They have to.
330-101,
Yes, sir.
at $2,000 for each space, it would be $10,000 for the 5 spaces.
That's set in 1992 or
I
whatever.
mean, that is such a low bar. I think some of the other towns have as much as high as 10,000,
Yeah.
right? And you guys would know better. Yeah.
Yep.
So they will give up those spaces then? They
are-
have to.
They have to buy the 5 spaces because they would be required 10 spaces with that additional retail space. So
Okay,
by
s-
giving up the 2 in the garage, they had technically 7. Then they'll be down to 5.
So it's
They have to
2,000,
find-
2,000 times 5 is 10,000. Yeah, where they,
Its location in a parking lot.
yeah, I mean,
There's a great book called The High Cost
must
of
have
Free Parking.
So that is the crux of the ZBA referral. I did also note that we will be addressing lighting and illumination during the formal site plan.
right, they don't have any lighting back there now, but it is a super popular site.
Yes.
And packed.
There's
So
that
this building will be used for a bakery?
This is proposed as an expansion of their retail.
They don't do any cooking on site. They
No.
deliver it all there. They do the cooking in East
More of a
Hampton.
display, like,
So it's all brought in. So can you find out if, or just clarify whether or not they're planned to
If they're
put a
going to be
bakery?
expanding their operations or if it's a separate operation.
No, it's probably theirs,
Theirs.
but, well, when you say bakery,
It says
are
retail
they preparing
bakery.
is
foods
it
on
just,
site?
they're bringing in prepared baked goods?
Yes. And
Yeah.
then resell and retail.
Okay.
the
So it's not
retail
a
sale.
bakery oven or
No,
anything?
no, no.
That lot
okay.
does get very busy at times.
It gets packed, and they put in now 2 or 3 of the recharging stations there.
And
They have
along the
long-term
perimeter is the
parking.
Yeah.
long-term parking. The
Yeah.
whole outer perimeter is
Issue the
long-term
building
parking.
permit on the solar, on that building, on the, back before I joined you guys. I've inherited this site for some reason. At any rate, if you would approve the ZBA referral.
Referral.
Yeah.
I'll move to adopt the report.
A second?
Motion by Dennis, second by Kate, all in favor? Opposed, abstention, 6 in favor, 1 absent. Good. I think maybe we should put in here that Bridgehampton should reconsider the amount, the cost
I was just
of.
going to ask you, what's the process? What's the process for that?
That would be more of a resolution to the town board.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that you,
board said
great.
Let's make a
recommendation.
note to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to do that?
Yes,
Separate
please.
resolution.
Janice
Yep.
up here.
Right.
Get Janice up here.
Recommending that they review the
Definitely.
parking fee structure, or,
Right.
for the waivers.
Analysis.
Right. It is underpriced.
And it has not been reviewed since 1910, did you say?
Before automobiles were invented.
No, the city is probably a couple $100,000.
Claire,
for
we'll
parking.
Between the
we'll pass
horse
it
and
if you
buggy.
write it up.
That's right.
Yeah, so we'll speak to Janice at the meeting on Tuesday. and then
Okay,
go from there.
good.
Okay,
Great.
great.
Claire
Thank
has
you,
a
Seth.
referral for us?
I do, so Mariner Housing is next, 1100.
1100 Majors Path.
Yeah, so we had this as a work session with the applicants,
Yep.
because it was a town board referral for secret purposes, and you relinquished lead agency. I don't think the town board is assumed lead agency yet, but at that meeting a month ago, we'd said we bring back on to write a report to the town board about some issues with the project. So I just wanted to show you the plan. I think it's 36, do I say the units? 34 units.
This is the MF 44.
Yeah, there's, the application is for the change of zone to MF 44.
We're on our last one.
So that's the plan. Which is, it's got sewage treatment plants,
But you know, this designation, because it's in the Aquifer Protection Overlay District, and it was CR 200.
Right.
It was intended not to be heavily developed.
right.
So you're caught between affordable housing and the environment.
Well, there is no housing without a viable environment to live in.
True, but I mean, but it
it's
was,
yeah, it's a tough
it was
choice. I hear what
deemed
you're
as
saying.
CR 200.
Yeah.
Deliberately so would not be
Right.
developed. I mean, that's my thought, and I think that it should be at least discussed by the town board.
And I think that what I'm saying, just to clarify, is that I agree with you because the original zoning and, the Aquifer Protection Overlay District, that's the life force water. for people to live here. So you can't lose that perspective of baseline foundational resources are needed for the housing. Obviously, yes, we need affordable housing, but we can't supersede the basics.
It's a privately owned parcel, correct? It's, the town doesn't,
But
Right.
the other side of the argument is the town and county has aggressively secured open space purchases in that area
Yeah.
that would otherwise
Have been developed.
be developed with housing. So
you mean as a counterbalance?
that the county, yeah, I mean, the county has acquired large tracts of lots, old file map lots in
So
that
there-
area.
So there, I mean, but, so in weighing the decision, it's tricky, because if the county did that, they're aware of the sensitivity of the APOD in this
Yeah.
area. So
Right.
not to be developed, and here's this one parcel privately owned that wants to change to MF 44.
But if you look at clearly at density numbers
You have 34
over
units.
over the entire area, certainly there's a large debit by virtue of the open space.
Could we,
acquisition.
Oh,
could
okay.
we make
Right.
can we make a recommendation for fewer units?
Mm.
They're looking for a change of zone to MF 44, so there's a lot of this happening now. Change of zone to MF 44.
I think looking at the baseline analysis, right? So the Aquifer Protection Overlay District was implemented based on a projection of what the development would be and what needed to be protected of the water to satisfy that development. And I would have to read a lot of historic documents to understand that, but my sense is, and we've talked about this related to traffic too, is that there is an overdevelopment based on the resources that we had at hand, water, electric, roadways, et cetera. And so, not to target this project specifically, but we see it a lot, that there are a lot of projects that you're looking at related to zoning, overlay districts, roadways, and standards that were set based on an estimation that we may have already exceeded. So maybe my recommendation is kind of bigger beyond this project, that the town board take a look at that and potentially update some of the standards to where we are now based on where we thought we would be when these standards were put into
The
place.
1970 master plan is based on water supply.
Right,
And I gave Janice my copy. It was given to me when I first came on the board, and I read it, and I was stunned, because it was a resource. And so the development and the growth of the area was based on water supply. Now, I mean, we don't want to walk into saltwater intrusion here.
What's happening on
What's
Shelter
happening
Island
on
already.
Shelter Island, and what's certainly happening down Island.
But the original groundwater studies of the late 70s undertaken by the county determined they landed on a zoning density of 1
Acre.
unit per acre.
In this area.
The 5-acre zoning was more a density / political decision of keeping the moraine undeveloped, and of course, there were natural resource consideration, trails, wildlife habitat, and so forth. But pure hydrology sort of lands at it's way under what this area is zoned for.
And I think, we have that, each of us have our understanding and, experience reviewing that history. What I'm suggesting is that we oftentimes bring in an expert to analyze the traffic study provided. What if we could bring an expert hydrologist to understand that,
In this
baseline
particular
assessment?
project?
No,
or for the
it's a bigger,
EPOD
just generally,
Yeah.
because we're seeing these projects and we're looking at them as this project with the standards that we have, but we really, I don't feel have a bigger understanding of, again, where we were projected to be based on that at the time, and then where we are now, and also how things have changed. We are in a drought. We have more fire pressure. Things are different. So,
And it's interesting because in the last couple of months, we've looked at almost 200 units of development here.
Yeah.
You've got a red, you have this, we've had another 36 unit. I mean, it adds up. It's all impact. And,
And there's
I mean,
been-
that we put at the burden of the feet of the town board. This is not for us to decide, but I think what we're saying is that, hey, take a look here at the overall impact.
yeah.
Well, the
And there's
town
been
board may want-
significant development in the last 10 years that I would bet is way past the projections that you talk about
Yeah.
from 10 or 15 years ago. Way past.
Way past.
What, of the
So if
1970
anything,
plan?
we've got a much more dire situation than might have been projected 10 or 15 years ago, just because of the development that's happened over the
Yeah.
last 10 or 15 years.
And because you have zone changes like MF 44, which allows for multiple, whatever the legislative intent of that is,
Right. Yeah, 44.
right?
You know, and my intent of bringing this forward isn't to be alarmist, but just to say, we oftentimes do, you know, review the code overall and the master plans, and this is one area that I'm not sure that has been reviewed.
I think
And
there
it's an
is,
important, it's the issue.
it is the
right?
issue. I think there is some, isn't there some effort or proposal to update the master plan?
Well,
which
I think
From
most-
19,
it's
the last one was 1980.
fairly early in the
1940,
discussion stage.
There were-
1999.
1999.
And then the traffic, the transportation portion was 2004, and then the sustainability
2004.
portion was what, 2013 or 2014?
Supposed to be updated every 5 years, right? It was 7 years?
Yeah, and so we are, what we're saying is that
Way
the
behind.
town board, we encourage the town board to update the master plan, to look at the impacts of multiple unit developments versus can the resources keep up with this? And, I mean, I personally think that the water supply, you know, when Suffolk County Water cuts your water pressure in half in the summertime, and you got a trickle coming out.
You look at those estates that are using,
Well, I
you
was
know,
gonna say,
500,000 gallons a year.
500,000, those are small estates. When you look at Suffolk County Water, there's estates that handle multiple millions of gallons of water every year.
Yeah.
So there's a price, but you know, that's fine to think about that, but we've talked about this when they have done studies in the past, that the thing that happens, so we have a multifamily developments, we've had a lot of them under consideration. But when you look at the zoning that we have across the town, they're being forced west of the canal, because that's where the zoning is half acre and 1 acre zonings, or when you have a 5 acre zoning, then you know, we've had a couple in way past where, you know, you had affordable housing on 2 acre lots, but because of the zoning that was in place at the time. So I'm almost making a case that if you look at it
We're looking for
globally,
balance.
outside of water supply and other things, globally you have to look at what's happening with traffic and demand. And there is the demand for housing out on the east end of the island. If you limit it for that, then you're forcing other factors like traffic and travel and gas and everything else.
Yeah,
So
so you
there's a
look at the
balance that has to
balance.
be-
I want to zoom out a little bit, because to your couple points, is that's SYS, right? We knew that, SYS, which is great. It's an amenity for them, right? If this did land here, it is on the border of aquifer protection, right? So this is just kind of like a CGA. Maybe we do want, you know, like the Pine Barrens, you want your development maybe on the edges of the aquifer and protect the interior of it.
Well, that's more for habitat.
Yeah.
You know, you want to retain these large forested blocks for wildlife, for forest interior birds and so forth.
So I just want to put that on so you can
Saw
see.
when we were looking at the cell tower, there was all that open space.
Right, so that is the border, and the other thing is that you can see that straight down this road is the hamlet of North Sea. So if you were going to go shopping for the deli is down the street. So, I mean, if there's a factor of like it being close to the hamlet center, which for transportation purposes, you could catch the bus there,
That's always a
Part of
good
Joe's
thing.
garage,
That's smart,
Right.
smart growth.
Right, exactly.
It's the
So
mission
I'm-
of smart
I'm putting
growth.
all of this in there, but
So
there's a
related
couple
to
points.
this project.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is, my recommendation would be, act conservatively and widen your lens to look at the full big picture of updating the master plan.
Oh, definitely.
I
So
support
this
that.
is gonna be all your points in that. I didn't mean to cut you off though. Yeah.
I came to this meeting, I was at the express sessions, the press express sessions
Oh.
about village issues.
Yeah,
And, you know, one of the, of course, traffic was a major discussion point, but the need for workforce housing close here,
East of the canal.
east of the canal, you know, was coming up constantly as, you know, one of the things that needs to be addressed. So we have those competing interests, I guess you'd
Competing-
call them.
yeah, absolutely.
To, you know, and this is a perfect example. I believe the board, town board is also moving forward with, I think, a 26-unit development in Watermill,
Yeah.
right near the winery, like just past the car dealerships. I think they're looking at a,
But, you know, it comes back to the funding of this and who actually gets access to these houses, right? So
well,
if
this is,
You're building affordable housing on the east end, and then if anybody in the state can come, you know, you're not really, there has to be a mechanism that they should provide. If it means that the CPF or somebody has to put more money into,
well,
keep this limited for,
George, that's such an interesting point, because just
People who live here.
we had a meeting, and, you know, the five affordable housing units that we wanted in the development in Watermill,
right.
Young's
Yes,
project?
yeah.
So that's available on a lottery basis, right? So you can get in at an affordable price, but the HAH dues,
Yeah.
now, all of that absolutely is prohibitive.
Right.
So there's never been a consideration in these affordable units. I mean, I was talking to staff about it, and there's never been a consideration about, okay, so you get in, it's sort of like buying a fancy car, then you have to put gas in it, you know, and all of
maintain it.
that.
So
Didn't
pay
we
them.
address that in some
We
way?
never addressed it, it's never been an
That
issue.
project?
Not in that instance,
HOA.
but it's been addressed in other
Other-
situations.
And what did it
When we
say?
did West Hampton senior living, housing,
Good. Well, these are rentals.
yeah. These are rentals.
Yeah.
The rentals would be available to anyone.
Well,
that's what I meant,
well,
yeah.
Yeah.
my understanding is this is
Affordable
privately
housing.
financed.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is.
So if it's privately financed,
You don't have
don't
an,
fall under the same requirements as if you've taken federal or state grant money with regard to who is eligible.
well, it's not a condo
Well,
or a co-op, so you don't have an
He would be
HAH.
able to hire whoever was vetted.
Right.
He would, I'm sorry, not hired, but
Hired.
you know.
Rent.
Yeah.
Rent.
'Cause
Rent to whoever was vetted.
They have
So
to
he
be vetted through
could
the-
say, oh,
The
people who live
housing
in
office.
Southampton.
They have to be certified
Yeah.
through the housing
Yes.
office.
We're talking about the new site, this project
This
specifically,
project, this
okay.
project.
Right, but in general, the
You did say
affordable
this was
housing
Privately financed,
is
yeah.
like, part of it has never been discussed. I mean, I never even
Yeah.
thought about that.
The condo
That the
fees.
HAH costs, and then you're paying your mortgage, you're paying taxes. It becomes totally prohibitive for people who fall within the affordable housing category. So, has the town looked at that? I mean,
So we do them in a case-by-case basis, and that's, you know, we don't get a lot of housing.
Yeah.
We're mostly dealing with rentals.
Rentals, you don't have the HOA.
Most of it's
No,
not
you don't have
purchases.
that.
I'm actually
Yeah.
surprised. I
Look at a
never
lot
thought
of
about the
those.
purchase.
That's a good thing to
Because not
flag.
just the
Yeah.
HOA fees, it's also insurance and property tax,
it's
right?
insurance, property
It's-
taxes,
it is
mortgage,
prohibitive.
and
Yeah,
HAH.
it's not the property
That has to be
tax.
paid anyway.
It's not, it's the HOA.
It's the eight,
Oh, is that it?
$1,100 a month.
Really?
in that particular
Which-
development,
which one?
1,100.
Which one?
The one in Watermill.
What am I-
1,100 a month?
Yep,
Wow. Well, some of that
Just
covers
that.
taxes.
The taxes are $99 a month.
Wow.
Taxes were
So
good,
that's just for
that's
the
another
amenities.
$100,
just the
yes.
amenities.
Wow.
So maybe we make sure that their landscaping doesn't need like I'm not quite sure.
No,
Or no
it-
pools, I'm not quite sure.
But you know what?
I think the affordable housing has to be looked at, the legislation, and accommodate that, or have a 50% reduction in HAH, or some mechanism to unburden.
Right, you can't have been the only one to
Yeah.
cover this, but I know senior housing, the West Hampton is this issue, we caught that issue
Yeah.
because there was 12 units there, I think, in that case. But I don't know.
Karabakh, I
Could you
had a
go back
comment.
to this lot?
Oh, yeah.
If we did not do the zoning change, what would they be limited to in number of units? Do you
Oh,
know that?
yeah, I'm off the top of my head, so it's 3, they would have, it would be, total site area seems to be 377.
Almost 9 acres.
And it's basically privately owned, so it's not that we can stop any development. They just want to increase I'm feeling like you
They want a
said,
zone
we've approved
change.
so many new
Several hundred.
so many units that we're in overkill mode.
Yeah.
As much as we need the housing.
Yeah.
Because it's not just the
I think
traffic.
there are about 200, I had an interesting conversation with Kara Buck, our housing director, the other day, and I think
Yeah.
maybe might be very worthwhile to have her in to give us an update on this issue. I think she said there's 200 units town-wide right now, either, done or in the
Yeah.
pipeline,
Yeah.
and the
Feel
term
like
is
we're
getting away
losing-
from affordable to workforce. That seems to be, kind of where the trend of the phrasing is
So most of the
going these days.
workforce,
to-
Tom, is rental now, right?
Yeah.
Is
I
it?
believe so. But, they've got 6 units going in on North Sea Mecox over by
Many?
Major's Path. I think it's 6 units, 6 small homes, I believe it is. But, she was, in 5 or 10 minutes talking to her, it was like, getting a whole education as to where we are right now. And I think she might be a great person to have come in for.
Yeah, it would be helpful, because we're seeing large developments here. In an infrastructure the infrastructure is not there, that's for sure,
Yeah.
which creates taxes. The water supply, who knows?
And we're gonna lose a large number of trees with this kind of development, no
Oh,
mader
yeah.
what they do. No matter how good Seth is at revegetating, he's not gonna be able to bring
That's
it.
right.
There won't
Bring
be
it back.
overclearing on this project.
Will be. No
That's
question.
gonna be out.
Better watch this one, map the site before you lose it, so you know.
They won't overclear.
Seth will be out there.
Yeah, they were there.
And then
we have our
what other
project
sites are left?
Right.
That's the question that came up
Saying
today.
they
Somebody,
Well,
they're
that's
very
the
limited.
thing, The
What did you say, Tom?
cumulative
What other
impacts.
sites are left? How many sites
How many sites are left?
are left?
Yeah.
And,
And we have several sites that Claire discussed with us that are earmarked for these RADs. The Pine Barrens Commission and the town.
East Canal.
There are about 4 or 5 more, right, Claire?
Yeah, but they're not
You have a
East
list.
Canal.
Canal.
No, there's several, but some of them have been purchased, so they've already been, some of them have been
Spoken
purchased, they
for.
are off the table.
Yeah.
So,
Purchased
Purchased by the
with
town or
CPF
county, is that?
With
Yeah.
CPF, okay, good.
yeah, well, good, but that's not the purpose of, there should be places for these things to
The
land.
land,
But people are using them for other things, they're using them to
sanitary flow.
sanitary flow or
Right, which
whatever.
is good.
I think that needs to be re-looked at.
I see.
It would be
That
interesting, like, obviously, yeah, we have a triage issue, right, of, like, I always think about, if everyone's coming to the emergency departments with sprained ankles, right? Yeah, obviously, you've got to treat them and make sure that they're back on the mend, but you also have to look, like, if there's a hole in the sidewalk out in the front of the hospital, and that's why they're coming in. So,
Backing up the
yeah,
problem to
so-
where it's starting from.
Yeah, just figuring out, so, yeah, looking at this, and when we looked at I think it was the BESS, right? They did a map that showed, here's all the available areas, right? Based on the housing plan that was put together, what's left and available, and, how could we then target, and maybe, probably some of this work's already been
I
done.
think we're just having a conversation.
Is everything, is everything,
So,
Yeah, you wanna,
I mean,
Yeah,
okay.
we have an
it works
example.
I've got a lot.
okay, has
one
everything in
more-
this area CR 200?
Huh?
Is everything CR 200?
In the
To the
east
right,
part.
to the right.
west is more, is.
Right, west is R60 or RE?
There's 2 big 3 lots.
R20 down here, this triangle up there seems to be R60.
And go-
East is,
Everything to the right of
CR20.
that white line is CR 200.
And how about to the left?
Left
It
is
varies.
R20.
Is R20?
This is,
That's pretty well
40.
developed.
I see R40
Yeah.
over
But there's a
here.
lot of
Because
space.
it's
I
near
think
the
that's, I think
hamlet.
that's,
The
I
other,
think that's
the other thing I
open
want to
space.
insert is that one component of
know.
affordability is energy,
Mm-hmm.
and the property should be even maybe think about LEED certified, at the very least, high energy with solar, with, they're talking about heat pumps, but that has to be a big focus in all affordable projects.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to move
Solar.
into an affordable unit, if you're being drained by utility costs, it's no longer
Same thing.
affordable.
It's a drain like HOH is to drain, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. I
Let's
like
put
that.
that in our report.
Yeah, definitely. I have other points that you made the last time at the last thing, so I'll include those too. And I'll have something for you for next week.
Thank you,
So,
Claire.
action.
Okay, motion to
Motion to
adjourn.
adjourn.
Motion by Dennis, second by Tom, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, 6 in favor. We are adjourned.
Closed session.
We're going into closed session.
Yes, that's okay. I don't usually set those things up.